Get ready for Draper Radio.
Hey guys, it's Mr. Blais.
Whoa, hey, are we recording already? All right, this is Mr. Sawicki. Can you tell us the last episode of the season? And we have
Miss Niles.
Yes.
I think we'll give it
again.
We should have printed off something, a plaque or a badge, but I think you're official. You're
Am I?
an official host now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
We
I'll
can't
take
pay
that honor.
much,
Hey,
like
listen,
as in anything. But
I do it for the love of the job.
do it for the lols.
The
Maybe
lols.
some more
See, that's
swag.
a trend. That's
I think
a trend.
over the summer, I think we're going to work on
crank out the swag.
getting some swag, some stickers,
Sure.
more stickers, and
Nice.
whatnot.
We'll see who gets the first Draper Radio tattoo is the real question.
That is a
Did you see that?
great
Wait,
question.
Mr.
sticker
Bass is a
mule?
full back piece tattoo of Draper Radio?
Wow.
No, they have the sticker mule.
Oh, yeah, they do tattoos
They have
now.
tattoos, so we could get
Oh,
temporary tats.
ones.
of,
Yes. Those are always a hit with the kiddos.
We're plugging Sticker Mule in Amsterdam, New York, my hometown. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. I didn't know that was
great
where
quality
they are.
service. Yeah, you
They do.
told me about that.
Mr. Blaze is repping the shirt. Yep.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
They have some good wares.
Nice. Yeah, well, that sounds like a must.
Yeah,
You know you've made it when you've got, temporary tattoo swag.
that's
Yes.
true.
That's the
Yes, that
true
is-
indicator.
That was very 80s, very
Yes.
90s,
it was.
temporary tattoos.
It was.
And they also
I'm
have
trying to front load the topic and subtle references
nice
here.
segue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holographic stickers.
Yes, puffy stickers.
Coffee
Man.
stickers.
I was a sticker collector.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Fiend.
Did
I
you have a
still am.
sticker collecting book?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I had the book. I had multiple books.
you have to. This one's
I had
full.
the whole full variety of stickers,
it.
including oilies. Was a
I
big one.
remember oilies.
Oily. I've
Oilies
never
were like-
heard of an oily.
So they were puffy, but they had this
Uh-huh.
it must have been like
Oh,
literal oil,
yeah.
substance in it.
There
but
was mercury,
It had
yes.
I hope not. Jeez,
Well,
because I had a lot of them. So
they put that in
I'm gonna go see
thermometers
the
back
doctor
then. So yeah,
but you would press on it, and there was liquid
Yeah.
inside of it, and
I
it
remember
would
those.
it would literally squish around inside
Oh.
the
Yep,
sticker.
yep.
Yeah, fuzzies were another big one.
Fuzzies.
Oh, yeah, the
And
fuzzy
what about
ones.
the ones that smell too?
Yep, the
Scratch and sniff.
stickers
Yes.
were big.
Yeah.
I got scratch and sniff
Yep.
pizza ones in my room right now.
Oh, nice.
So
I have,
okay,
I have
all right.
smelly markers in my room right now.
Yeah.
I just saw them. That's why they're on my mind.
Yep.
And a little public service announcement: don't hold them too close. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're bound to get your nose
Don't
covered.
huff things, yeah,
That's a
right.
good.
Well,
tip.
I
I
would
was
end
just
up
gonna
I'd go
huffing,
like this. And why is
Yeah.
my nose like a rainbow? I have
Yeah,
all different
right.
colors. I was like, I got it too close. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That'll do it. Yeah. But no, I was a
Delicious.
big sticker collector.
Okay.
yeah.
Yep, back in the day. It
Yeah.
was a trend.
It was. Yeah,
Trend.
Popular.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. See,
But-
I'm getting some new life breathed into me because, I was talking to both of y'all before the show.
Yeah.
And I'll just start by saying that I don't know, modern trends. I hate modern trends.
Oh, okay.
I try to be so counterculture. Like I just can't vibe with this water bottle in front of me, or
Yeah.
stuff that we'll talk about.
I
I'm going to be very negative Nancy.
And
But
that
yeah,
is the-
some old school trends which are coming back now.
They are.
I think Five Below has sticker books now you can buy,
They,
Oh, that's
just
so
like we had
cool.
back in
do.
the day. So
they
Yeah.
all right, new life, rejuvenated.
Yep, they do. Well, that's
Okay.
the thing. So, I think it depends on what stage of life you're in, and
Yeah.
whether or not
Old.
you're ready
That's
to
what I mean.
adopt the trend. Like when we were kids,
Yeah.
trends were cool. Like
Mhm.
trends were things that
Yeah.
would you
Sure.
get excited about. You could collect. You could
Oh.
focus time on it.
Yep.
It's almost like a hobby to be
You had
trendy.
to show it off.
Yeah.
Now I don't want to show
now
off.
I'm just tired all the time. I don't have time. I don't have time or energy. for
Tired,
it.
leave me
Well,
alone.
yeah,
Get off
just
my
to
yard. Yeah,
figure
that's
out
my
yeah.
lifestyle.
Well, right. I know. My son mows most of the
Yeah.
time, so I could do other things. that
Yeah,
I
those
need to
people
do.
get off my yard. No,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there's a T-shirt I wanted to get. It's like I'm old, I'm tired, and get off my yard.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, no. Well, I still kind of
Phase
tell
of life.
Ollie and my little guy let's not walk across people's yards, and let's not drive up everybody. If there's a lot of people have kind of a little bit of a pitch in their driveway,
Mhm.
so he'll like to go up with a X, Y, or Z,
Sure.
wheeled device that he's got.
Gotcha.
Have you guys ever seen the video on the internet of the neighbor who noticed on his security camera that a
Mhm.
kid in the neighborhood going every day for a walk with his parents
Yeah.
would
Uh-oh.
do that with his little scooter? He would go up this guy's driveway.
That's
Nah, it's
And
awesome.
so
Probably
the
video of
neighbor
Ollie.
was so cool, and he made him a chalk track, like a little game.
Yeah,
And so the next time the kid
restored,
came,
yes.
like to the driveway, there was like a little chalk
He had
game
that
for him
Oh,
to
sure.
follow.
Yeah.
It's a good little internet video for you to follow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
It's cute. It's heartwarming.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
That's good because I'm pretty jaded because I was going to say, like, what did he set up, like a booby trap or something like
It's exactly
Yeah.
the
Claymore
opposite.
explosive?
So
Well,
you're just
right.
setting up your standpoint
I
for
got
today's
him.
episode.
Like
Pops his
he put a little
tires, like-
tar and a little
Yeah,
feather at the
yeah.
end, you know, like the old
Exactly.
school
Yep.
Wile E. Coyote
Yeah.
sort of stuff,
That'd be funny.
shenanigans.
Because I guess like all the home tech stuff, like the Ring doorbell cam and all that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tech trends. There's fashion. There's
True.
accessories. There's
Oh,
stickers. There's
Like vehicles,
Vehicle
you know,
trends, yeah.
like-
Teslas now are so
yuck.
popular.
Oh,
and-
sorry.
No,
Yeah.
See,
listen,
negative. Yeah.
I can't argue with it.
yeah, I know.
It's tough. but-
Sneakers, all that.
Now you
sort
really
of
got my
stuff.
brain gears going though. Yeah, I didn't think too much about the trends because I'm like, I'm going to be about humbug. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
All right.
depends.
we'll get this rolling. Yeah, and I heard there's some good questions might come in my way. So.
Yeah, I got. Yep.
Yeah. There's lots and lots of I mean, they're ever changing. And my mom, I don't know about your parents. If your parents ever said that'll come back, that'll come back,
all
Yeah.
the time.
Oh, it does.
and you're like, "Psh, whatever. What did my
Yeah.
parents know?
Because
They
the
don't know
90s are
anything."
back right now.
Fashion
Yeah.
is
It
where I
is.
see it the most.
Oh, you go to Target, like all the fashion Target is like, wait a minute.
Like when I was in
Yeah.
7th grade,
Yeah.
all I wanted to wear were flared jeans.
Flared jeans.
Cut, like
yeah.
bell-bottomy type jeans. And
Yep.
I remember my mom, who, was a child of the 70s.
Mhm.
like,
Sure.
She was so like, oh, those were popular.
Trendy
when I
in
was
my
your
day.
age. Yep.
Yeah,
No, Ma, you don't get it. You know?
yeah.
They're back again.
Yeah.
They're back again.
We see it everywhere. Yeah.
25 years later.
So those and another one, the high waisted one that they would
Yep.
call the I don't know,
Mom jeans.
Mom
jeans,
jeans.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That are
yeah.
super. I mean, we see them at the middle
Mhm.
school. Like,
Yeah,
that
we
all
used to
the
make
time.
fun of them
I
back then, but
wear
now they're
them.
like,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
wear them
yeah.
Yep.
now.
Acid wash
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
is
back.
coming back.
Do you do the? My wife sees the chunky platform sandals.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, boom, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen,
Yes.
2001.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that's familiar.
Yep.
What do they call them? Belt bags.
Yep.
AKA
I have one of those too.
Fanny packs. Yeah, we
Yep.
talked about that. I'm not going back to
Fanny
that.
No.
packs.
Not
I
going
s-
back. I bullied way too much. I ain't going back to that one.
It's the way you wear it now, though. It's a
No.
Well, there was a whole Reddit thread, and I was going on, and it was comical, and I think it was like maybe like a generational like divide there, like
Yep.
with some younger kids
Sure.
on Reddit, and then some of the guys like myself, 80s and 90s, and they're like, "How do you make this look cool?"
Yeah.
Mhm.
No. You
And they're
don't.
like, "Well, in some states." Some guys where it's legal that they would carry arms. They would
Yeah.
be packing heat.
yeah.
They're like, that's the only way I can validate that. The
I mean, a
guys just-
cowboy makes it look pretty
when
cool.
you look like
the
a
old
cowboy.
Yeah,
the gun holster on a cowboy.
Yeah.
That's like one thing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not putting nothing in like a Supreme fanny pack around my
Right.
chest. It's,
Like a
I mean,
satchel.
yeah,
Indiana
satchel.
Jones
you
has
know.
one.
I mean, what
It's
would
not
you
a man
put?
purse. It's a satchel.
That
What
was
would you
a-
put in it? Like, I mean, if you were to have one.
Can of if I was a cowboy,
Well, if you
Well,
had,
if you had
if you
the
had
fanny
that,
pack right now.
the belt bag.
Can of soda.
Okay.
What kind of soda?
ooh.
Surge?
Yeah, definitely a
Surge.
throwback
Yeah,
from like the
yeah,
back in the
yeah.
day.
Or Jolt.
Some kind of multi-tool, just in
Okay.
case.
Like a Swiss Army knife?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna have it.
Yeah.
Everything I need, like I carry, like wallet, phone, keys.
So, but those would now
Boom.
be in your satchel. That
Yeah.
would
Nah,
keep
but
your
what am I gonna put in my
pockets
pockets?
free for so
I
many
thought I was the
other
only one that said
things.
I know.
satchel. My wife looks at
Satchel,
me funny
yeah.
when I say satchel.
That was
or
the
house
hangover.
coat.
Yeah, like
Yeah, house coats. a
House
good one.
coat.
Yeah.
Like people don't
Yeah.
like. What's
House
a house
coat?
coat or
House coat.
parlor?
oh, is that a robe?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a robe.
Oh,
You
It's a
I don't know.
wear.
that one.
It's
Yeah,
like, or
house
it's like
coat.
something cozy you wear as like a top layer in the cold. When
See,
Yeah.
I'm
Hanging
anti-robe
around.
too. I'm weird.
My dad
like,
wore a
yeah.
robe. I never got into it.
Yeah.
I was
I wear a
always
robe.
hot. Like,
Yeah,
But mine is for like, shower, like the shower. Or like
Yeah, I
after
guess
the
I get
shower
that,
when I'm
but-
doing my skincare.
Yeah.
That's another trend right
Yeah.
now. Skincare.
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 That's a big one.
Yeah, the masks.
Yeah.
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 Peel and stick. Yep.
Yeah.
Nah. No, see, like
So
even
many
me being
trends.
counterculture, I want like a Japanese kimono.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Well, you've always said you're
yeah,
into
yeah. I
Asian
can see it.
culture
That's your
and learning
vibe.
about
Somebody
it.
comes over to my
Yep.
house and I'm like a
Yes.
James Bond villain from like the 80s.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Ooh.
come
I
into
want
my
one of those
home.
ones with the feathers, like
Oh.
the,
Like
Ric Flair,
when,
the
when you
wrestler?
come to tell me that my husband has been murdered.
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm going to inherit all the
The big
millions.
inheritance.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, woe is
Woe is me.
That's what
That's
I want.
Adam's Family values. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, no.
yes. Uncle Fester. What was her
What
name?
officer?
What was her
Debbie.
name? Debbie.
Debbie.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Yep,
Old.
exactly.
yeah, I
need
guess
a
that was
Debbie
trendy at one
house
point. Yeah. Okay.
hmm
All right. First episode next year. We all got to come up. Like,
with our
all right,
robes.
like, for the video.
Making a
Like,
note to
it's my-
We'll wear them.
1790s
We
Japanese
should wear them
kimono
for
and
the Halloween episode.
Halloween
That'll
episode,
be
yeah.
Our costumes. our
people look at us
house-
like we're insane, but the shoe fits.
Well,
It's
we
all
could
good.
also wear a robe on Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day, yeah,
The
and
hood,
it's,
right?
it's a
Yes.
cloak. It's not
Padawan.
still can't find my Sith cloak. I had one. I bought one like a
How
year
can you
ago.
not find it.
Just
That's not the type
moving
of thing
around,
you
and I know, seriously, I had the lightsaber still,
treasure it.
so that's
Yeah.
right. Jedi never lose the lightsaber. Anywho, I digress.
I know it's
All right.
it is also lucky episode 13, by the way.
Ooh.
When was that?
Not a Friday though.
No,
Feels like a Friday.
not Friday.
It does feel like
School's
a
done
Friday.
tomorrow for
Feels
us
like
here,
a
folks,
Friday.
So, yep.
And I also want to put out there too. I went through and tabulated if my math serves me
okay.
right. This is our 43rd episode.
Yeah, cool.
I don't
cool.
know if there's any like 43rd anniversary gifts people want to
There
give
is.
us, but
Yeah, we
Oh.
looked up to 50.
yeah.
Some bizarre ones.
That's
50 is
like the
golden.
first-
golden. So
Yeah,
Golden,
I know
yeah.
that.
Like
My
a
in-laws.
Like one of them's paper.
golden microphones.
paper.
Yeah. One of them's like leather.
Yep, I've heard of that.
I'm like, when I get like a saddle for like a horse, like
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
You know.
Or a leather satchel.
leather
a
satchel.
satchel.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Like a 90s leather trench
Yes.
coat, like Neo from the Matrix.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
great
that would
movie.
be pretty baller.
I already have one.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Wow.
Not surprised.
Cosplay Spike from Buffy, so you got it.
Yes.
No, okay. That makes sense.
We're really losing our younger viewers.
Yeah. Like
Younger
what?
Well,
viewers are
these
like
are
Matrix, Buffy.
Excellent
I can't
references.
Google these.
Puffy
I
stickers?
can't Google these
Huh?
references quick enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Said one
Listen.
student.
Yeah,
Yes, write down The Matrix
yeah,
and Buffy.
yeah. 90s.
Go on the
Because the
internet.
90s are back, so.
Yep. Check
Let's bring it
out
back.
The Matrix is a movie.
Yep.
It's actually a franchise. There's various movies.
Ooh, yeah, but
The
you trigger
first
something
one is the best.
I'm going to talk about coming up, yes.
Yep.
And don't-
Yes.
Don't watch the one that was most recent.
Exactly.
I haven't seen it because I can't bring myself to.
Don't
because
steal
I
my
love-
thunder, folks. That's
I
what I'm
love The
gonna-
Matrix so
No.
much.
I'll
I'm
just,
going
I'll
to
just say that.
poo-poo all over that trend right there, so.
I
And then
mean,
Buffy's a show, kids. You love
Yeah,
it.
don't ever touch that. Sarah Michelle
Actually-
Gellar's listening.
They have told me that
Don't ever
Sarah
touch it.
Michelle Gellar is my doppelganger.
There you go.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
That's my
yeah, everybody's got
celebrity
one.
doppelganger. Yep.
Perfect.
Did you have one?
Um,
Anyone ever say like, "Oh,
somebody
man,
once told me
are
I
you-"
looked like the kid from American Pie.
Okay.
Yes,
Years
you
ago.
do. Yes, you do. And
Okay.
I
And I was
actually met
like,
him in real
yeah.
life once. In
Jason
Boston.
Biggs?
Jason
No
Biggs.
way.
Yeah, I did.
I
Yeah.
was
But
like,
that's so
okay.
On the
cool.
T. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on
he
it.
was shooting a movie. I can't tell you which one.
Yeah.
I used to live in Boston, and
Oh,
he was
no
on
way.
the T.
Okay. I don't find him cool,
Living his
though,
life
so I'm kind of
normal.
like,
Yep.
Yeah.
lame.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Oh, well. I'll deal with it.
Eh,
But yes,
all
I see
good.
that. I see that.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Blaze?
I've had two. I've had two. One I kind of like, hide under a rock one, and the other one's kind of cool. I've had Screech.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no,
Sorry.
sorry,
Okay.
nope. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go ahead and pretend I
There's
didn't
no-
hear
the
that.
hair. The hair
another
is-
great
And then I
90s
heard
show, kids.
Yeah.
Sly Stallone.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Now, can you do a
That's
Sly
Without a beard.
voice? Try it.
Yo, Adrian.
Yeah, okay.
That was excellent. that just
it's
sealed the deal.
podcast.
You're talking Dripper Radio over
Yeah.
here.
There you go.
I
Yeah,
can't-
so you gotta
I
put
can't-
marbles in your mouth.
Yeah.
Good.
Can't.
The kids even know who Stallone is anymore, either.
No,
Rocky.
Rocky,
Kids, you know who
Rambo.
Rocky is.
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Yep.
there was
Yep.
like how many of them?
Oh, gosh. The last two Rambos were such like stink fests. Yeah.
Well, then you had like all the
You see what I'm
Rocky
gonna talk
movies.
about?
Then you
You
had
can
gotten into
talk about
Creed. Then you had when he was
Creeds were
training.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched this. Oh my gosh! You're talking about like
His last one, he'll be in like in a nursing home, like botching somebody.
Aw.
poor Rocky.
He'll bump into like,
He's gonna watch. He's gonna watch
What are some newer things that he's been in the kids? Oh, Guardians
he
of the Galaxy.
produces a lot of stuff now too.
He was in
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah. Bit parts and stuff.
Yeah.
He's more into producing. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's behind the scenes.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
Cool.
yeah, we'll start us off
Good.
with a good trend here, folks. Try to enlighten me. Try to
Okay.
get me hyped about something. It's 2024.
Yeah.
I'm not hyped about modern trends. Like I know you've already talked about trends about a little bit.
Are you thirsty for another
I'm rocking a
trend?
paper cup from Moe's, so
Well,
that's that's where I'm at with.
I mean, I don't
cups.
want to water this down
Yes.
anymore.
do you guys have TikTok?
Yeah, I perused
That's
through
somewhat
it.
of a trend.
See,
TikTok.
but I'm
TikTok,
so
yeah.
embarrassed to admit
Yeah.
it. I only watch to laugh. I don't make
I don't
them.
have
I don't
it.
save them.
I
I
don't- I
don't
can't-
subscribe.
No, you just watch.
Just
a
mindlessly.
even-
bystander.
Yeah,
I don't even I hate when I come up upon whatever, like I'm reading an article or on Pinterest and then they post it and I was like,
I feel like Pinterest is like
Oh.
a dying trend.
I
Is that still
don't.
like a
Oh,
thing?
see, I still use it, but
Oh,
I'm also old.
Still
so.
like yeah.
Maybe it is like age
But
relevant.
I think with
My
the
daughter
kids, it's
uses
less.
it too.
Does
I
she?
mean, she's
Okay.
well,
She's also very creative. Like
Oh, she's
yeah,
super
it's
creative.
good
Yeah.
inspiration. I use it for building. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I
whatever.
want
I use
this
it for
porch to
home
look like.
decor.
Yeah,
I use
decor.
it for like recipes,
Okay.
like
Yep.
finding recipes
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. My
Cool,
wife,
cool.
when I have to make, like, if she's out and I'm like, oh, I'll be home making dinner, and she'll send me the pin that she had. Here's the
Cool.
recipe. I'm like, oh, cool. This is nice.
Yeah.
And that brings
Gotcha.
up a whole, like, this could be a whole podcast, right? Now, have you used Pinterest for recipes?
Yeah.
We both
Yeah.
probably have.
Mhm.
So, how many times have you come to what you thought was a recipe, and you're getting someone's life story about how they found this herb on the mountains, and you're like,
Yep.
where the
Scrolling
heck
down,
is the
scrolling down,
recipe?
scrolling down, scrolling down.
Yeah. It drives me nuts.
Mhm.
Like, it's the
Yeah.
whole story,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? Like, I appreciate the people that put jump to recipe.
Yes.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
Like, that's
awesome.
like a TLDR,
Yes.
right?
Agreed.
Too long, didn't read.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
good
That's a
acronym.
Reddit
Yes,
thing. I'm
yes.
just getting into Reddit actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reddit, I tell you, Reddit is like, what they call it, the internet's newspaper
Yes.
is what they
Hmm.
kind of coined it as.
I'm not familiar with. Yeah.
And Reddit
too
is
on
great because I've gotten like, I dropped my lawn care service because they were like going up and up, and it's like last
Yeah.
summer my brother-in-law and I were like, dude, it's like $800,
Oh,
and they
wow.
don't even test the grass.
Mm.
I'm like, step one, science, right? I mean,
Right.
like, I watch a lot of videos and guys are like, guys, it's just a science thing.
Mhm.
So I'm going to go over in Schenectady, and there's a Cornell Lab Institute base in Schenectady Central
Ooh.
Park, and they'll do like
Plugs.
basic, like pH, acidity, and give you a rundown. So now I have a test.
Mhm.
Now I can apply. These guys just come over like, yeah, most of the lawns in this area, I'm going to throw down a little this, a little that.
Yeah.
One
size
time they
fits
left
all.
stripes of dark green. I'm like, they're like, no. So I'm doing like as organic as I can, you know, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
But
And you got the ideas on Reddit?
on Reddit,
Yeah.
I'm in a part of a lawn care forum.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, I'm on an F-150 forum because I have
Yep.
a truck, right?
And I
we
do
sound
that.
so old right now. I'm just gonna. Really,
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
it's cool.
There's categories for everything.
Yeah.
Well, kids, I know.
I can just legit hear one of our students saying like, "Lawn care
Ethan.
forum."
Listen,
Well,
you will get it someday.
turn off.
Someday you will understand.
Yeah, they will, yeah.
You know, our friend, a good friend,
Yeah.
Vintage, loves
Big
vintage
rock
80s
band
rock
fan,
band,
yep.
Yeah. Totally.
21 Pilots. Ethan is always like, I'm all over Reddit
Okay.
all the
Yes.
time. So I was
Maybe I
like,
gotta
okay,
explore a little
okay,
over the
if
summer.
he's doing
Okay.
it, then, you know, we're
Yep.
All right.
right there.
So Mr. Whipple actually got me into a podcast called Two Hot Takes.
Okay.
And it's like essentially it came from the Reddit forum.
Yeah.
So the podcast was born from the Reddit forum.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you basically like the podcast is when they discuss an issue that's submitted to the Reddit forum.
Okay.
And so you can even, entertain yourself just by reading about other people's drama,
Yeah.
which is interesting to me because,
Gotcha.
Well,
everybody's gotta
that's
have a
kind of
little
like,
bit of
you know,
drama.
like reaction videos, right?
Yes,
You know, like
yes.
they're not
Ah.
producing content. They're just, in a way they are. It's kind of like
Sure.
second party, third,
Right.
twice removed on his mother's side sort of content.
Also, a
But
trend
they're
I'm very
creating
anti.
entertainment from
Right.
another form of entertainment, which is
Right. Like I
Interesting
know
concept.
my son will watch, reaction videos or like playthrough videos and stuff like
well,
that.
it's like the kids watching gamers. They don't
Yes.
actually play the
Yeah.
games. They just
No.
watch Twitch.
Nah, they hate
right.
that too.
PewDiePie
Streamers.
back
Yeah.
in the
Hate that
day,
too.
or nowadays Mr. Beast, but he's a whole different
Yeah.
ball game. But that's another trend
Yeah.
right there in
Yeah.
itself.
Nah,
So-
I poo-poo on that one too.
I asked about
Yeah.
TikTok for a reason.
Okay.
And
TikTok.
it's because it is one of the reasons why the Stanley Cup, which I'm going
Okay.
to talk about, not the hockey Stanley, not the
Not the,
OG.
not the
Stanley
big
Cup.
gold
Not
one
the
that everyone
OG, yeah,
kisses.
not
The
that
Florida
one.
Panthers is one.
but
Yep.
these
Yep.
guys here, these
Yeah.
big Stanley mugs.
Yeah.
Everyone knows them. Everyone
Yep.
hates them. Oh, no.
It's one of the reasons why those blew up in the last few years.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Blais was trying to tell me about it, but
Yeah. So there's
like-
there's a variety of
Yeah.
reasons for why they're so popular now, and I can admit that I fell into it myself. I'm someone who's on a fitness wellness journey, and
Mhm.
so anything to get myself to drink more water, make it seem more
that is
fun.
important.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, hydration. Totally.
Yeah.
But do you like dislike water normally?
It's not that I dislike it. It's that it feels more fun to do when I'm enjoying the vessel that I'm drinking my water out of.
Interesting.
Definitely.
So
I get
do
that.
have to say before the Stanleys, though, I had a thing for the Starbucks tumblers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
use
They
those.
always have
Yeah.
trendy.
Crazy designs and sparkles and sequins and just like all of these like different options that you could get. And so I would drink water out of those. But my problem with the Starbucks tumblers was that they don't keep your beverage cold.
Yeah, true.
And you can't even put a hot beverage in it.
They're not.
They're not made for hot
Oh, wait.
beverages.
For people in the know, they're not double walled.
They're not.
I'm pretty sure
They're
I put
not
hot
well
beverages in them.
insulated.
Yeah. What am I supposed to?
Yeah. You get
Drinking
some weird.
multiple- Plastic.
Apparently, you're not supposed to. Yeah, and you're not supposed to put
Hasn't
them in
stopped
the
me
washing
yet,
machine
folks,
either, or
so-
the dishwasher
Yeah.
either.
Your Sawicki is still ticking.
I'm still going.
Oh my
Perfectly
gosh, back
fine.
to our caffeine episode.
I know. Yeah.
Still caffeinated
Yeah.
from that one.
I still remember stuff, and that's been fueling me. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a little.
I'll
We
check
have
in-
summer. We
we'll
have a
check in
summer reset.
September. It's September. Yeah, we'll
That's
check in.
true.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to make sure you're
Oh, I'm
seeing
gonna be like-
your brain reset.
See who.
Let it decrease, and I'm coming back and be so hyped.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna
Those
be like a
receptors need
caffeine
to-
junkie, just like whoa, I'm back.
feeling that caffeine buzz again.
New students gonna be terrified. Like this guy's insane.
Oh my
Jeez
gosh.
Louise, who
no,
we
he's on
hire?
a caffeine
Oh,
high.
man.
So
The seventh graders coming up are awesome though, so I think
Oh,
you'll,
good.
you'll have a
Yeah.
good time with them.
Yeah.
But so I got into Stanley's for a variety of reasons, but
Okay.
one is because of videos that were posted to TikTok. Now I don't have
Okay.
TikTok, but I do end up watching the like 2-week version of the video on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I do watch reels on Instagrams
it
quite
was
often.
cycled. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's something called Water Talk. Have you guys heard of it?
Water Talk. Is that
Water
like another
Talk.
platform?
No. So it's
Oh,
just
that's like a
it's
new
just, it's like a
platform now.
hashtag that people were
Oh,
using
right.
at some
Yeah.
point on
Okay. Yeah.
TikTok.
Water. Got you.
And it was essentially a challenge to try to get water more fun to drink.
Okay.
See, I just love water, so like I'm so boring.
So there, but like,
Mhm.
okay, so
I'm like,
here-
I'll just drink water all day, and I just love it. So, like,
so
I don't need no fancy.
Are you a
cup.
rare breed though? I wonder.
I think
I
that's what I'm
know.
still. I'm repping
and I
counterculture
like
today.
drinking water if that's all I'm doing, but I don't like water with my food, with my meal.
Nah, I love it.
Okay.
I have to have another, like, it doesn't cleanse my palate well enough. I
Yeah.
have to have either seltzer with like a little bubble to help
Yeah.
cleanse my
Oh
palate.
yeah.
Or
Definitely.
like a Diet Coke or
Okay.
like a, another
Right.
beverage of some sort, an iced tea maybe.
Yeah.
Little
Iced tea.
lemonade.
Totally. Summertime.
Yep.
Sunbrewed tea. I'm down with
But
that.
I don't like a meal with just water.
No. Like if you're having cereal, to have just
No.
water.
Water
Like,
in
you
the
have, like,
cereal.
You need like an OJ.
water in your
I'm
cereal.
not. I'm not that psychotic.
That's if you didn't have coffee yet. Then you put your
True.
water in your cereal.
Nah, I don't think I ever
Yeah.
stooped that low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Water Talk
Nah.
was kind of a thing. It's a
Okay.
while ago now. It's
Water
a few
Talk.
years ago now, where it was essentially people trying to make water more fun to drink. And so whether that was putting a liquid IV in the water, whether that was using like fresh fruit,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool. Yeah,
right? Ice
Aqua
cubes.
cucumber water
Fresca?
and stuff.
Is that agua fresca?
Yeah.
Aqua
You put
Yeah,
berries in
there's-
it and stuff.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all
Mint
of
water.
that was then
Sure.
like people would be filming their recipes or just
Yeah.
their like kind of like, here's how I prepare this water, based beverage.
Yeah.
Here's
so
how to prepare the
stupid.
water.
It's
Step
so
1,
silly.
turn on tap.
But I love it.
Done.
Like,
Step
be
two,
like,
consume.
here I'm going to freeze these strawberries, and
Yeah,
then
I
I'm
know.
going to put
It's-
some like fresh mint in it, and now
Yeah.
I'm going to have this really cool strawberry mint beverage that
Yes.
True.
is healthy for me and also keeps me hydrated.
It doesn't
Like,
taste just like water. So
Strawberry and some
Little
basil.
something.
and,
Yeah.
some basil,
basil
yeah.
and the strawberry.
Yeah.
basil, fresh
Okay.
from the garden.
yes,
So, and I don't know how Stanley's became a part of that, but they did. And so
Yeah.
then they started being featured in these Water Talk videos.
Oh, okay.
And it just, it got to the point where they were kind of associated with each other.
Yeah.
And it got to be kind of like a thing. Like if you're into like trying these different water recipe beverages, then
Yeah.
you got to have a Stanley to be
Yeah.
able to drink it out of.
Right.
And it was kind of the perfect storm though, because Stanley's a brand that's been around for a really, really long time.
Yeah.
Could be part of my dislike of it. Yes,
And
but I'll
well,
get to that.
and they're not they're originally marketed for like hardware.
Yeah,
and
it's a tool brand,
construction.
right.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
I still have
It's not-
Stanley
I have a-
hammers
it's
and
I
not
had a
saws.
Stanley,
trendy.
hammer, tape measure.
Yeah.
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 You nailed it. They would make like canteens for
Yes.
construction
or like
workers.
those
Or camp-
old
yeah,
school
camping,
lunch
yeah.
Right,
boxes
to
that
go
like,
to
you would
work.
see construction workers on like
And
you
they
could drop a
beams
hammer on
eating.
and it survives. Like,
Exactly. And they're but
Right.
they're made for
Yeah.
durability.
Sure.
And the brand has been, do
Yeah.
you know how long the brand has been around?
No.
1890.
That's an excellent guess. So 111 years. So
Wow.
Yeah.
History guy.
1910.
Why am I even surprised?
Yeah.
Of course I knew that.
So it's not like it's a new brand trying to like make their way into the market like Hydro Flask was like years ago.
Oh yeah, Hydro Flask.
Or Yeti and the cooler game stuff. Yeah.
But they've been around for forever. But they didn't necessarily have a product that would enter into the trendy,
connect with people outside of tools and stuff.
And kitchen and recipe market. And so now all of a sudden they did.
Trying to make claw hammers trendy for like years. And the kids like these things.
The fit.
Yeah, and so that's something. So this is the standard 40-ounce cruncher.
40 ounces.
Yeah, 40 ounces. And so what I like about this is that my goal is to drink 3 a day, anywhere between 2 to 3 a day, and then that you're keeping yourself hydrated.
Yeah,
so it's like a good little measurement tool in that respect. But it also has the design so that you can fit it in your cup holder in your car or on your boat or wherever you're drinking your hydrated beverage. But what I thought was interesting about this was that when they became popular, all of a sudden you couldn't get them. They were out of stock
exclusivity
everywhere. Exactly.
I did see those videos like the Black Friday. It wasn't black, but people were, this new Stanley drop today. People would race through Target and like clubbing each other.
It's like
sold out.
Like Nike shoe. Like my son he's looking at Nike sneakers right now. And
chime in with anything cool over there, Noah. Any trends you got going on?
Yeah.
Well, Jordan 1s are definitely super hot.
Jordan 1s. I had the knockoff Jordan 1s, like the re-releases.
Yeah.
Are those cool, or there's like you got to get the originals? Cool, thank you.
Were they like the Jordan like 1 3/4, like the platinum?
Yeah, they were like re-released in like 2021.
See, now you guys are talking like I don't know
sneaker game.
Like, I'm not a sneakerhead. Like, I have a pair of Air Force Ones.
Okay,
those are Nike shoes.
Yeah. Okay.
They're also not cool. Question mark.
I don't know. A verdict?
Yeah, I don't know.
Air Force Ones?
They're cool.
Ding!
Oh,
we got
it.
Yes. Into the cool game.
Oh, okay. Dig it.
Those ones
Thank
had like
validating.
He's going to be our check-in for like what's cool, like the
he's in the thick of it right now, right?
Yeah, right. Totally.
Okay, sneakerhead.
Totally.
Gotcha.
But so you couldn't find Stanleys anywhere. They were sold out on all the websites.
Are they back now though? Because I feel like they're everywhere.
Oh, they're 100% back now, but they came back with a vengeance with so many different types and
that
colors.
Might be their downfall, though. I think.
I think it was like kind of their
their zenith
helped their game.
Yeah,
because now you want every color. Now you want every special design.
Now they're tapping
Now you
into
want
that
the chrome one.
feed.
Now you want the one with glitter, and then you can
Right.
go on Etsy and you can get them personalized, or you can buy ones that people have etched or they've painted, or it's out of control.
Well, I just found out that I'll be thanks to our tech teacher who upgraded their engraving. He's going to give us his Gen 2 engraver. Nice. So I may be getting into that sort of market.
Cool.
Well, and what a better department to have them in the art department.
Exactly.
That's actually
custom Draper Radio Stanley's coming your way.
Yeah.
There we go. Some more
2024. Yeah.
Who's gonna?
So we got temporary tattoos and a Stanley.
I mean, we're just aiming. Yeah.
So the other thing that kind of catapulted the Stanley into stardom was the durability factor. There was this viral video that ran around that showed a car that had caught on fire and the whole car was burnt out. And inside the car, though, completely unscathed, was a Stanley.
Wow.
And so the woman filmed,
Is that
the car
real,
owner
though?
filmed. Stanley ended up buying,
melt?
the company ended up buying her a new car. So she
The
had to
top's
have
all
validated
plastic.
it somehow.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the point, though. The point was that when she grabbed the mug and she pulled it out of the car, she shook it and you could still hear the ice in it.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta fact check this.
Yeah.
You do have to comment on
how she grabbed
the laser. This is after it cooled down and the fire people came.
The cops
and put out the
firemen. Right?
Yeah.
But talk about your
laser. I
guy.
did. I was saying this to the family dinner table because my wife loves them. The girls love them. They have the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Quick side story, hilarious. Rebecca's going to be mad. My wife hit Rebecca Stanley with her car. And it fired out and it was like a missile. Mm-hmm. So it's hilarious. Rebecca was upset. Like, why'd you hit my Stanley? But it was fairly unscathed. There's a tiny dent, but I was like, that's pretty cool. Took a hit from a car. So
I mean, the fact that it was projectile.
So we had some at-home science experimenting, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I was impressed. This guy on YouTube, if you just type in solar death ray, this guy. Now, don't make this at home, kids.
Okay.
Don't
just
actually
a PSA.
do this.
Noah.
He had this massive concave piece of glass. Solar death ray. No one ever seen this guy? He's insane. I don't know how he built it.
List.
But, with science, which is magic to me, same thing.
Yep.
You can magnify the sun's rays. I think he lives in Arizona. And he can magnify the sun's rays to a pinpoint laser.
Okay.
This dude puts rocks in there. He's blasting rocks to pieces.
It's like when you're a kid and you want to try to fry some bugs with your magnifying glass.
That
it's just
is
that on an epically large
sadistic,
level.
and I've never done that.
Who would
Anyways,
do that?
No. Save that for a Halloween
Everyone.
episode. But long story short, he put a Stanley underneath this thing, and the Stanley took it for 30 minutes. It got glowing red, like lava hot, but it couldn't punch through it.
See? Durability factor.
I was impressed. Yeah, I mean, it's literally blowing rocks to pieces, concrete, shredding it. But the Stanley could take it, so
survived.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I'll give it to it. That's the only credence I'll give to it.
That sounds like a myth. That almost been like a Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Totally.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be a good.
I'd put that on here.
Sure.
Solar death, right? That just sounds cool.
Yeah.
And the kids at home do joke that you can use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
If somebody breaks into the house, don't club your brother or sister, but if it's an intruder and Stanley's nearby, you can absolutely club them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean those things are like I think I was talking to maybe Noah on the way in about it, like how big they were and how it could be a weapon.
If you froze the ice in there, you got a pretty
you do. Well, they now
club.
make ice cube molds, I guess, where they're different sizes.
Yeah.
So it's smaller for the bottom of the Stanley and then a middle size and then a larger size.
You're gonna lose me on all this.
And then you can pour your beverage in the middle and it's
the cute straw toppers and the stickers that go on it.
See, I'm not into the accessories.
This one has a nice cork bottom.
What do they call the things that go on the top?
I don't know,
like straw toppers.
Straw toppers.
Now you can buy those.
They're kind of like gibbets, which we'll get into, I'm sure.
Yep.
But for the Stanley.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And I can see some practicality to those
because
it
keeps bugs from crawling out of it and such.
That happens to
crawling into
Stanleys.
They
but
leak
that's
too,
the
don't
one downfall of the Stanleys that they leak.
Yeah.
They do leak.
Yeah.
Right. See, that's what made
that's physics. They don't have a top.
It hits a nice point because it's for 40 ounces. Like I like to drink a lot of water. But to find a non just a tall same diameter all the way up 40 ouncer, you will not.
Yeah,
true.
They were always too big. I have a F-150 truck. You figure that should be able to take a full gallon of milk.
No,
I can actually put 3 gallons of milk in my thing in between the seats in the front.
Cool.
I can fit 3 gallons. I'm I can just put ice in there and I could just put all my beverages I need right there. So, but to find one that is like that. So I have that issue. I'd like to have, and they don't have that one out there. And for hiking, I wonder if somebody's nowadays you can 3D print stuff, you know what I mean? To make it so you can make a top that would work. Because I think that's the only weak point.
So here's the other thing too that you might not realize about the Stanley is that the top actually does turn so that you can drink it like a coffee mug.
All right, flip it over on camera.
Okay.
So you can do
all
that.
Right. So I don't think I knew that.
It does rotate, and then you can close it.
Yeah.
So now technically it should be, but it's not. So there we go.
Yes.
That was the greatest on camera.
But technically that should have the water in. This is just an old Stanley. It's
I hate Stanleys. Don't try
the seal. The seal is worn.
Yeah.
We're not going to throw. I mean, you took this.
Theoretically,
I'll counter your statement right there. The Army invented this awesome thing called the canteen. Perfect.
Okay.
That's for hiking and for
I have a different
walking
type
through
of Stanley that I take to the airport.
Okay.
That I travel with that does have the flip up.
Cringing.
That does have the flip up and it seals. It's for my traveling purposes, and then I can put it in my backpack.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it rolls around or not because it's all sealed. And it keeps my beverages cold. You like warm beverages, so
I like cold beverages too. But
G-Love, I like cold beverages. Yeah.
I don't know. Here's my ultimate. This is my last point I'll make on Stanley. I grew up with Stanley tools.
Yes.
The hammers, the hacksaws and stuff. Yeah, they're look in your parents' basement, you'll find it. The same reason why I don't like the North Face. I'm not going to talk about that company.
Okay.
But growing up, I always wanted North Face because they made hiking and climbing gear, like rock climbing. My dad and I would do that.
They're like the bar.
I could never afford it.
North Face.
But then it became trendy in middle school, and all the kids started wearing North Face, and I'm like, I can't afford that $45 T-shirt you're wearing, and I know for a fact you don't hike or rock climb.
Right.
So I guess I had the same thing. I don't want to spend $45 on a water jug. When I'm like, I used to have the tools. I don't know. That's just my.
You want to match the water bottle to the tool.
Right.
You
So
got
we
yellow
need to get
tape
you a
measure. You get a yellow
yellow
Stanley
Stanley.
mug.
Yellow Stanley.
So your birthday's coming up. Now we
Yeah.
know what to get you.
Okay. Yellow Stanley.
Maybe-
Yellow Stanley.
maybe
See,
might
you're
have
not
lo-
completely opposed to the idea.
I
What
just
do we
steal
have
my
one with
wife's.
like
I
an
just
like
steal
it's
hers.
kind of like an Asian like maybe go on
Yeah.
Etsy and get like kind of like
Yeah.
some
My kids did
cool-
call me out. I brought one of her thermos Stanleys to work one day.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, Mrs. Rookie, you have a Stanley. I'm like,
Oh,
this
Yeah.
purple one is clearly like.
Clearly not
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, clearly not mine.
Yeah.
I like how they keep stuff cold
They
and they're
do.
durable.
The functionality.
But I am a
is
big
key.
time thumbs down on the trend.
okay.
It's
So that's
okay.
my
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah.
Well-
Actually, I had some stats I wanted to share.
Oh, yeah,
before we
okay.
wrap
Love
up
it.
the Stanleys. Speaking about how long they keep our beverages cold and
Okay.
hot. How long do you think this tumbler in particular can keep a hot drink hot? For how long? You know, I like to ask questions. On
I
the
would
podcast.
say 8.
Yeah, I was going to go with 10 to 12.
It's usually the same, the
It's actually
standard.
7 hours.
7.
So
Okay.
7 hours.
Hot's
before
got to
it
be
should
harder, I
before
would
it should
imagine.
lose
Question mark.
heat.
Okay.
Yeah, like the dissipation rate
Yeah.
Right.
is quicker when it's
It is
hot.
harder,
Sure.
correct. So
Right,
it doesn't
right.
keep
Okay.
it hotter for long. It keeps it colder for longer.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
so
I
how
always
long
see
do you
that
think
too.
it would keep a cold
Oh,
beverage?
Double that. I would say double. Say double my. So I'd say 20.
I would say, well, I don't know. We're hyping it up pretty big. I'll say
2 days.
it'll be cold. Yeah, no, I was legit thinking like
And
36
when I say
hours.
cold,
Okay.
it doesn't decrease in temperature yet.
I'll say frozen 24 hours. It'll be ice in it 24 hours later.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Cold
yeah.
36 hours.
So it's actually the opposite. It keeps it more iced because when
Oh.
ice is melting, the temperature remains the same until the ice is completely melted. Yeah,
Brains
it's
exploding.
science. for it.
Science.
Yep.
Just
So
magic.
it'll
That's all
keep
it is.
it'll keep it icy
It's
for
not real.
longer until
Yeah,
the ice is
science
completely
lies.
melted,
Okay.
and then the temperature will decrease.
Okay.
And that's actually for 2 days. So it is 48
Okay.
hours
All right. Well, that's
for,
respectable.
for ice
Yes.
to remain
Yeah.
Gotcha.
ice in there.
Is
And
that optimal conditions?
Optimal condition. We'll
Not
say
in the
room temperature.
deserts. Okay,
Correct.
gotcha.
Room temperature, like
All right.
72
Cool,
degrees
cool.
Fahrenheit.
Gotcha.
And then before that, let's say 32. We'll go with the Fahrenheit scale.
Yep.
32 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it starts to warm up from there.
yeah.
It will keep your beverage cold, and it doesn't specify at what
Yeah.
point cold turns to warm.
Subjective, yeah.
Right. Depending on environment.
For 11 hours, and then it will be considered
Okay.
lukewarm, I suppose.
Right.
Room
Yeah.
temp.
Kind of.
Gotcha.
So you'll keep ice in there for 48 hours,
Okay.
Yep.
and then
That's
it
cool,
will
that's
warm
cool.
up to the point where it'll be lukewarm 11
Yeah.
hours later.
I do love our Yeti cooler. Kind of
Yeah.
expensive one for a wedding gift.
Yeah.
That keeps ice for like 3 days inside.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
Well,
great.
that's great.
Yeah.
Like if you're
That's pretty awesome. Yeah,
camping,
totally.
like doing a couple nights in
Yeah.
the woods, right? Because not all camp store, you don't want to be buying like ice,
Nah,
every
True.
so often.
Yeah.
But I remember, I didn't have, a Yeti or a Stanley, but went down to Outer Banks. I mean, the sand gets crazy
Yeah.
hot. Like
Oh, yeah.
I've like almost like burned my feet on it hot. And I brought down like a double walled metal one. It was a decent one. And we were down there for 4 or 5 hours at the beach. I mean, it was like in the sand, it was probably 110,
Yeah.
120,
Mm.
easy. Blazing sun. No, it was not in the shade. I brought it home and I didn't drink all my water. And I could still hear like the ice rattling around. I'm like, that's impressive,
Mhm.
right? I mean, because if you had like a plastic
Sure.
water bottle, I mean, that
Yeah.
stuff is toast and
Be
Oh,
long
yeah.
gone.
it's
In
bubbling
an hour,
already.
30 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
toast. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, no goes good at the beach. Not just the Stanley to keep you hydrated,
Yeah.
but some
Yeah.
some
Protect you
Crocs
from
on your
that.
feet.
That
Oh.
hot sand.
Well, before we dive into that, you're obviously a yay.
Okay.
Mr.
No,
Blais. No.
no.
You were kind of trending upwards there,
I
man.
like a double wall.
But no to the Stanley.
No to the Stanley.
Wow.
I think it's gonna go in. It's the form factor
Okay.
because I love it. Like a multi-use, like I could bring it hiking. I bring my water bottle
so you just need a
hiking.
different style, Stanley,
Yeah.
which I have. I should have brought it.
This
I
now
have
sticks
one,
out
I have
A
one
catalog.
Yeah. See what you want here is
Yeah.
the Model
for you. Stanley
XYG.
needs to start paying me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still begging for sponsors. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
Stanley,
Stanley.
we mentioned Sticker
Yeah.
Mule.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got a lot today. We'll see.
know.
All right. Noah, yay or nay? Stanley's?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're back
Okay.
to 50-50.
See?
Okay.
All right.
He's
All
our
right.
primary source.
All right. That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah. He's
All right.
'cause how
They're
many do a lot of friends have Stanleys?
No, they have Gatorade water bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
always, that's my
The one
generation,
with
so
the
I dig
pods.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you know what
okay.
they
Yeah.
do? They do the puffing
That's what
sound
it
at
is.
each
The
other.
puffer, like
Yeah.
the
But
little.
they don't
It's like a
cost
mister.
$45 either, so
That's
it's
true.
kind of-
That's true.
Well, some of them are pretty pricey, right? They have those little caps at the top,
Mhm,
Wow.
mhm.
Oh, really?
$20 for like.
No kidding.
and people were stealing them. There's like different colored, like it almost looks like you know, like what was it? How do you say the flavored, like the ones you could smell the water bottle? You smell like the little flavor things at the top, and it doesn't change the flavor of
Just
the drink.
Smell makes
What's
you
it called,
think
Noah?
it's different flavored.
The cricket.
Oh.
Oh, circle.
Circle.
Yeah,
Circle.
some of the kids have circle
Cricket.
bottles.
Corkle? It looks
Corkle?
like it's spelled
There's
Corkle.
corsicle. That's corksicle. That's different.
That's
But
yeah.
it's circle.
Circle.
And
okay.
yes, the kids did like that.
I'm going to
Yeah.
cry a lot
I
in
learned
this
about that
podcast
this
today.
Yeah, so that's another one in that genre, like of the water bottles and stuff like that.
It's going to be a plain old cup of water.
Who knew water bottles were going to be so
I know.
like?
What a time to be alive.
Yeah,
I know.
Big time first world problems.
I know.
Yeah, it is. It is. It really. It
For
really is.
international listeners, please don't hate us. Like,
Listen,
people
we
probably
just
listening
want
to
to stay
have
hydrated and make it fun.
they have like no running water.
Well, I
We're like,
mean-
I need this water bottle.
I need to spend half my paycheck on a water bottle.
I'm not drinking out of a used cup.
Well, know what's amazing about my company here at Crocs
Oh
is
yes, let's transition to
that they, you know, you're talking about like, you know, like waste or people without that can't even get water, is that
Mhm.
they've donated millions of pairs of Crocs
Okay.
to people that needed it. And
Respectable,
you know, like
first of all.
Costa Rica,
Yes.
Afghanistan,
Yeah.
you know, all these, you know, like Tom's is
Tom
another
Shoes
brand
does that,
that does that
yep.
for
They
every
do.
purchase.
That is
Every
cool.
pair purchased you get
Right.
one, and even also like they do, and they've donated some to healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or
yeah.
like imagine like
Nursing
COVID
staff
time
and
too.
stuff,
You
sure.
know, like people because they are like super comfortable, right? Has anyone in here never worn Crocs?
No, I have.
I was
I have some
coerced.
Crocs.
You were forced.
I have some Crocs.
First like 2 months of like dating my now wife. She's like, she loves Crocs. She's
Yeah.
like, you have to try them.
Yeah.
So we took a trip down to Woodbury Common. There's a
Yep.
Croc
Yeah.
outlet. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I've been to one.
I was
They're
like, what the heck is
intense.
this? Like a crocodile store? They sell like or I was thinking of like Lacoste back in the day with the
Yes.
crocodile.
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah. Oh,
That
you got
was-
these in
that
there?
was
Is this a
trendy.
spin-off
Yeah.
of
That
Lacoste?
was trendy.
Trendy
Well,
back
this
then?
this Croc is very happy looking.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose, yes. So she enlightened me to the world of Crocs. I find them semi-comfortable, but the only big thumbs up I'll give them is that they are very convenient. Slip on, slip off.
Very.
Bada bing, bada boom. You know, but I also have slides, but the Crocs have a little bit more protection.
Yeah.
I've been outside in the snow with them. Do not recommend.
No.
So
Especially
that's
ice.
my starting
Especially
point.
Great
icy.
for rainstorms, though. So
Yep.
if you, and I know
Yeah.
you're not like the kids will cringe, but you're supposed to wear your socks with your Crocs.
I thought they were all about that.
You're supposed to wear your socks with your
Yes,
Crocs.
we're
yeah.
going to cringe.
Because in
Yes.
a rainstorm, so I live
Noah's got
in
socks
the
on with his
Adirondacks.
slides right now, so it's checking.
Yeah, so
That's the
you're
look, right? The
supposed
Nike
to.
socks,
got-
You're
cool.
supposed to.
But
That's the cool look right
That
now.
he's
the
got
cool
the
look.
the
Yeezys.
Yeezys.
Oh,
Yeah.
like,
And
dude, do you know if I wore that in middle school, I'd get my butt like
Yeah.
kicked
Yeah,
all day.
Oh, without a doubt.
Socks with like
Yeah.
slides for. Oh man,
When,
you
Yeah.
were
and then
crucified.
and the crew socks were
Yeah.
not cool when we
Not
were
at
your
all. You
age.
had to have
wear ankle socks.
Yeah.
Oh.
You weren't supposed to see your socks.
Yeah.
when
Right,
you
the
wore
The
no
socks
show.
were
back
like
in
for
the day.
old people.
For when I
Yes.
run, you
Yeah.
had the no
My
shows.
dad
No
wore
shows,
those
yeah.
socks.
Right.
Yes. No
And
shows.
white socks too. I'm still
I'm wearing
black
my.
socks.
I'm wearing my.
I got
No show
socks right
blacks.
now.
I got running socks on.
Okay,
Me
that's
too.
respectable. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe socks would be a whole thing too.
They are.
Oh, socks.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. It has
Talk
some
about
kind of
socks.
trendy element.
Am I the only one that finds it very satisfying to pull up your socks if they ever droop a little bit?
Yeah, it's very sad.
Is that a TMI thing or is
No.
that
Nah, that's
No, it
that's an
make-
old
it-
person thing, but yeah, it's more
No,
comfortable.
but it does make
Just
it more
dating myself.
comfortable.
I mean,
you
I
don't
can't
want
be like-
wrinkles in your feet.
no?
itching
Wrinkles
and
are bad.
stuff and uncomfortable.
No,
stuff.
there's nothing worse than wimpy socks. So
Yeah,
True.
they gotta go.
Oh,
I mean,
the
if they
ones
just
that,
if they don't have the elasticity,
Elastic's
like they're
gone.
just
Yep.
literally
or
hanging
they
on by.
tear,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
get a hole in your toe, like
Yeah.
halfway through the day, and you can feel it, and you're like, oh, it's
I'm
so
finally
Yeah.
to the adulting point where I'll throw out like holy socks.
I do too.
Woo.
The church socks.
Yeah,
church
my
socks
Sunday
are pretty
socks,
well.
my holy socks.
Holy
Get it?
socks.
Boom.
Yeah.
Funny, haha.
Yeah.
So my story. I live in the Adirondacks, and I used to have a dog that I would take out.
Yeah.
I know,
Mm.
sad.
I know,
That I
know.
would have to, take out often, and you do that. You have to do that in all
Yeah.
weather. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what the weather is.
Yeah.
A dog
Okay.
still got to go outside. You got to
Always
walk the
gotta
dog.
go. Yep.
And so I found that Crocs were my favorite take the dog out shoes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because you could walk through the dewy grass.
Yeah.
You could walk through the, in the rain.
Yeah.
You couldn't have your socks on. That's the thing.
See, that's the only problem. It reduces because Crocs, like a crocodile, they're amphibious. They can be on land.
Are they called that because they look like them?
Because of their purpose. They're amphibious.
Oh, okay.
So they can go on land, right? And they can also you can walking. Like if you're hiking, I saw when I went on a hike recently. I'm like, so this gonna make me get a pair of Crocs probably. I think just to take with me for hiking because they're lightweight. And the guy just had a carabiner. I hooked it through one of their 13 holes, which every Croc shoe has 13 holes. 26 for the pair, every single one. Which the gibbets fit personally. Giblets. I digress. Lucky 13 here. Isn't that interesting?
I like creepy things.
Yeah, 13. And so there was some rhyme and reason. So so he just took a carabiner and clipped it right to his backpack.
Super lightweight.
Yeah, so you could wear them. And, like I could see when you're hiking, afterwards you don't want to have socks on.
But no ankle protection.
No, you don't.
No, I'm saying like your hike's done.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Like we're gonna probably do like an overnighter.
I was just playing with it,
and I'm like, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna get some after we do the peak, and we're just around the campfire. I'd have a pair of Crocs on.
Yep.
Because I let my feet breathe a little bit, and then. Because when you're done hiking, that's the first thing you want to do is take the boots off.
Dissipates foot odor.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
boots go in
especially when you
boots
get
go in the back of the truck.
Yeah, real talk. I know. Gets
way back.
Flow.
You just made me remember that my Crocs are my kayaking shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
They're my kayak. That's what I wear to kayak.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Because you're in the water, and you could go if you need to wade in a little bit and hop out.
You want your feet because on the pegs of the kayak. I used to do it barefoot.
Yeah.
But then after a long kayak, my feet would just cramp. You want some kind of some kind of support.
All right.
Crocs are perfect for it. So
I'll double duty then because my in-laws gave us some kayaks, but I did do a barefoot, and I just brought my flip flops with me. But over at it's Lighthouse now, Max 410, the restaurant, they have a little launch pad.
It's great.
It's like rollers. It's like almost at the grocery store when they're sliding your stuff across.
Oh, wow.
I know exactly.
But except for your boat, and you just have little handles. And you go. And you're right in.
Nice.
That's cool.
So there's no precarious stepping off the deck, and you're
or trying to not be in the water, but step into your kayak so that you're keeping your feet dry.
You're gonna get wet.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So Crocs are a good fit for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they they've been around 2002.
Really?
So I mean that long ago.
Gotcha.
I've had a pair, but I mean I could see the benefit of the socks for someone like myself is I'm a sweaty guy. That's just who I am. And having when your foot is wet inside the Croc, it's a sensory thing.
Yeah.
You either love it or you hate it.
I did find mine dry quickly though too.
They do dry quickly because
they do.
The 13 holes help.
13 holes for ventilation, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably never be able to not look at them now and say 13 holes.
13 holes, 26 for the pair.
I'm
for those
count,
math teachers out there,
I'm going to count.
Quick math.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will be posting on the socials if there's not 13.
I'm going to go home and check
you're going to find the derelict Crocs that have 11 and 15.
For a knockoff brand.
Is it Timo or Tamu?
Timu, yeah.
I say Timu, but then we all saw in the commercial.
I don't know.
You're going to have the cricks or the crooks or the crudes.
Insert a different vowel instead of vowel.
I like that Crocs now makes other shoes, other styles.
Yes.
They don't look like Crocs, but they're just as comfortable.
Right, a lot of female, female, kind of dressier shoes.
I have a pair.
They make an actual. I wouldn't have ever guessed it, but they have a golf shoe.
I didn't.
If you took the logo off, you wouldn't recognize it as a Croc.
Okay.
I have sandals that you wouldn't recognize as a Croc.
Right. Yeah.
But they feel like a Croc. They're comfortable, but they look like legit dress sandals.
It's the It's the materials. It's cross-light technology. Is with the they saw when the guys. Let me see if I can pronounce it. Scott Siemens, and he was also kind of these guys were sailors too. Ironic Siemens, Lyndon Hansen, and George Decker Jr. I'm just gonna try to pronounce that, but they were just out boating, and they came across somebody had a type of shoe, and they're like, hey, we need a shoe that we go like from boating to the land and not have to worry about, take this off, put this
Instead
on,
of like
take this
canvas
off.
boat shoes, that was always like
right.
the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah. You know, like Vans may come kind of like that, canvas ones.
Well,
Sperry's
Uggs,
and
too,
stuff,
are supposed to be for surfers.
So, and then
Uggs are for surfers?
They are. They're supposed to be worn barefoot. And
I have never worn Uggs
well, think about it.
surfing.
It's Ugg Australia.
Yeah.
They're made they originated in Australia.
I just thought because
they're
they were
supposed
ugly.
to be for
so they call
surfers
them.
after they finish surfing. You wear them barefoot and they warm your tootsies up.
Yep. There you go.
I've never used them.
No.
I also have a lot of Uggs. Apparently, I'm very trendy.
Yes, you are.
Uggs. Gosh. Gosh
And
darn
I also have a North Face.
I have never, and I will never own any North Face. Do not sponsor
I
us,
have
North Face.
multiple North Faces and various
Gosh, I hate
colors.
Patagonia and
I don't
North
have any
Face.
No.
Trendy. Look at me. I hike.
Yeah.
But I do. So what if you do these things and you have these things?
Well,
I don't know. I don't want,
if you go to Lake Placid, you know, it's like we're going there, and you know, just after the holiday, you know, July 4th coming up. But you'll see. I mean, that's like.
I guess
flannel shirts. You're going to see Patagonia vests in the fall. I mean, it's going to look kind of like people that would all fit.
Maybe see that's why I don't know. Am I the only person? Like, if you legit use it, you're wearing Patagonia while hiking, wearing Crocs in your kayak.
I've never been there, so
if you like, just get off your longboard and you plop down, and you say, "I'm throwing my Uggs, bro." Fine, cool, that's awesome. But like, I don't like going to like Lake Placid or Saratoga and see people walking around. I got my Patagonia and my.
You want to dress like Neo from
and
the
they just hopped out of like their $85,000 like Land Rover. They've never been off road,
right?
Like I don't know.
So they're following in like the
people that are just for the look, the posers, the shoobies,
yep.
Those I'm like, nah. Like, but if you're legit in the lifestyle, then okay,
right?
Because it was created for those people in the lifestyle.
And I bet you that like people that are in the lifestyle probably don't use those.
We hate it. We hate it. I don't use Uggs when I surf.
No,
at all.
Do you
look kind of funny?
They're
stick them in the stands.
They're so comfortable. Plus,
the
I'm a
sand will
Tom
warm
Brady
up.
fan.
Yeah.
I'll throw on my slides and my flip flops, or I'll go barefoot. I've never in a million years thought like Uggs were for surfers.
Or hey dudes would fall into that realm of you know, like a poster. Like my brother-in-law's got a pair of slides, like Hey Dude slides.
Yeah.
And speaking of Hey Dudes, I think in 2025, 2026, Crocs is going to be absorbing them.
They're going to absorb.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big. Hey Dude, like, are super popular.
Yeah.
It's like they fall into the line of like they're ugly, but they're so comfortable. You know, like
Sanooks or like
Sanooks. It's like a cheaper version of them. But I tell you, I got a pair and I wore them. The ultimate test. We went to Disney. It rained. I mean, they dried out.
Yeah,
they mold to your feet. You can take out the insert of the Hey Dude and hand wash that, and then the shoes you just throw them in the washer.
Yeah, I have a Rothy's. Are another brand that you can do that with. Yeah, and they're made from recycled water bottles.
Yeah,
all right, that's pretty cool.
Oh,
see, I like that stuff, like
you
functionality.
So sustainability, right? So for the Crocs, one pair, like I talked about this before, one pair is donated to a less economically developed country like Kenya, Costa Rica, Afghanistan, Fiji. I wouldn't have thought of Fiji as, you know,
it's very
their goal of producing zero net emission by 2030.
Okay.
Their ingredients as of 2021 are 100% vegan. So there's like no like animal like
so you can eat
product.
Them?
You could, might
They also do not try.
No, they donate one unsold pair to those in need. 250,000 saved from landfills by this like whole thing. So
awesome.
I love companies like that. You know, like another one like Paul Newman's brand.
Yeah.
I mean, his stuff is good. The coffee is good.
Sure.
And 100% of the proceeds go to that. And he does like was it the Double H Ranch?
Yeah, and it's up in Lake Luzerne, which is where I live.
Cool.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah,
I'm super like I'll run a race too. Like if I do like races, like I did Silks and Satins in Saratoga, and there's all benefit to like I love races or things with a purpose product. You know, like you talk about buying local. Noah was just talking
instead of just
instead of like paying to the big guy
and blah blah blah.
So it's like a big company.
Yeah.
So how they become popular? So they became like you know, fashion designer Chris Kane. I didn't really know him, but he came out and he like I don't know. They must have allowed him like like with a blueprint design or whatever, but he came up with marbled like colors on these Crocs. Like it was 2016, and these were like I didn't know if they were on a fashion show, but they were actually like on his site. I went on, and it was like a really, really phenomenal. So like. Think of how many people go to fashion shows, and if it's in a magazine, and then it just starts blowing up.
The right person wears it,
right? So that another one now for the Gen Zers out there, Post Malone, had his own.
Oh, okay.
And those were I don't know if I got the date, but I mean it's gonna be fairly recent, probably within the past couple of years.
Who is coming to SPAC?
Post Malone,
this September. Yeah, they just announced it today. Yeah,
gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Let me see if I got
some kind of perk. You wear Crocs?
I don't know.
But yeah, so Crocs are like cool and trendy, and I know what else helped to like fuel their fire of sales was the pandemic, because you think about like the style of dress. You know, like how casual became the new business.
Yep.
Their business was your house.
Yeah.
You're at your house. We're working, your job.
Yeah.
So you can pop those on. You go to the store when the store's opened again and all that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But they blew up from that. And and their their little charms that you put in those gibbets.
Yes.
I never knew the name of the company. I saw them.
Sure.
Yeah.
We went to a Crocs store. Was that in Ocean City?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Ocean City, Maryland. And we went there, and so they have the gibbets. They have like, like you go to like Walmart, Target, and they have like the bin of like $2 movies. That's like the gibbets, and it was
this
like
is where they rip you off.
Oh
too,
my
folks,
God.
right here. PSA.
Right.
That deal that they have, like it's like, all right, buy one for $4, buy two for $7.
Yeah.
And then it's like buy 57 of them for like $950. Like they want to try to trick your brain that dopamine rush.
It's like, do you want to pay monthly, or do you want to pay for the year all up front?
Right.
Like, well, it doesn't really save me that much. But you walk out with a pair of Crocs and it's like $150 because you got like 3 bags full of gibbets. You know.
Yeah.
But they also had some where they were like built into the shoe, like the mold. Like I saw some. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And they had some like Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ones or McDonald's ones I've seen.
They have everything now.
It can, whatever you're wearing, you can
switch it out for the seasons if you want.
Yeah,
you can have it.
Yeah, I do have like Marvel ones and characters.
I have kind of a funny Croc story.
Yes.
And it's something that I saw on the internet because, it's where all the fun information is. It was a video.
Okay.
And it had to do with the movie Idiocracy.
Okay.
Have you guys ever seen it?
Idiocracy.
Talk about
I'll put a note on that.
So it's basically a movie it takes place in the future, and it's supposed to be a dystopian version of our future, but the human race has evolved, or I should say devolved.
Okay, yeah.
So that everybody's an idiot.
Yeah.
And one of the kind of themes of the movie is that everyone kind of conforms and just wears the same thing, and everybody is just gives in, no
one cares.
Exactly. And so I guess that the producers of the movie needed everybody to wear the same kind of shoe.
Okay.
I'm sure you know where this is going.
Yeah.
This movie was made in 2006, so it was a while ago.
Oh, yeah, but this shortly after they kind of hit the ground.
So they wanted, a shoe that looked so dumb that literally no one would ever wear them.
Uh-oh.
And so they chose Crocs because it was a brand new startup company.
They are ugly. Let's not lie.
They are so ugly.
Oh, you bring up a good thing. Let me see if I got to load here. This was Croc's slogan here. Ugly. Crocs ugly can be beautiful, and has a picture of a kid with braces. Ugly can be beautiful, and it's got a picture of the Crocs.
Yeah.
It's like a 1980. It looks like my friend from the 1980s here.
But it's funny because the producers of this movie chose Crocs because they're so ugly, and they chose them because they're never going to take off.
Catch on.
Who would ever wear these? No. They're so ugly. They look so dumb. Like this is just a perfect choice for our movie.
Yeah. Yep.
And then what do you know?
And here we are talking about them as one of the top trends of them.
Yeah.
I've seen them all over the place. People wear them to like formal events and stuff, and I'm like,
okay,
yeah,
right. Well, I've seen movie stars, something like they'll wear like a blazer, right, jeans, and then they'll put on like a pair of like low top Nikes.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
That's
like,
cool.
you know what I mean?
wore my suit today with my PF Flyers.
Yep.
Yeah. See?
Vintage like sneaker bought up by Converse. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Gotta
you
mix it up a
know,
little bit.
I mean, you got all of that. And let me see.
That's also something that's trendy now is wearing sneakers in dress up occasions. Like
Yeah,
I remember
that's cool.
I
Yeah.
remember being, in college and needing to dress up for an event, and it was expected that we would have to wear heels,
Yeah.
like high heels,
Fancy shoes.
fancy
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, everybody's just
My
wearing
wife
their
and I wore
sneakers.
Converse on our wedding day.
Yes.
Like custom Converse.
Yeah,
And
you
I
had a pair that
love-
was like the same exact
Yeah.
color as the
That's
suit.
trend.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, not
So
surprised.
that's a trend you can get behind.
But I feel like I did that though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to be like self-invented. I want to be copying other people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure other people do it too, but
Yeah. But I'm into that one. I'm into wearing
That's
sneakers
cool.
instead
That
of
is cool.
uncomfortable shoes.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe Crocs someday too.
Because sneakers sometimes like no. What's the most expensive pair you
Oh
found
my
of this so
gosh.
far?
167.
167.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
and I thought that was gonna be cheap. Like a lot of Jordans, like 300, 350,
Yes.
400 bucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get
Oh,
the originals. You get the mochas. You get the
God, it can get into the thousands for special
Yeah.
editions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, we went to a same place around the corner. It was like an outlet, and we was Crocs, and then we went to this other store. I don't even know what the name of the store was. Like a local store, sneaker store. I've never seen it, but he was familiar. So they have all like used, like Nikes, Yeezys, Adidas, yada yada yada. And I'm like, no, these are the same price as if I would buy them new.
Yeah.
And know what the weird thing is? Every single one, you're not trying them on. You have to know your size. They're saran wrapped.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is like, doesn't that remind you of like like a grandparent's house where the couch had the plastic
Yes.
on it?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
right.
This is a
preserving it.
room that we don't sit in. We
Right.
just look.
We just look at it. It's pretty. Yeah.
I'm like, what's so what do you do?
Yeah.
You just
Just
have
look at it.
You have a when you take it out of when you get home, do you take it out of the plastic? What do you do with it, Noah?
Yeah.
Do people wear
They
them?
were selling my slides that I got for like $140.
Yeah.
I got mine for like $350.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
350 for slides.
We
Yeah.
had just gotten those. Yeah.
Man, oh man.
I know. At that price point, I'm kind of like, I don't even want to wear them. Like, it's
No,
you
but
kinda
that's,
wanna,
I wouldn't want to.
Right.
put them
You'd
in
be
a
afraid
case.
they get
Like,
dangerous.
Right.
you
You
know?
can have a bunch of clear acrylic
Yeah.
cases.
Like,
around you.
if I had legit Jordan 1s from like the 80s, I don't think I would wear them. I'd be too afraid. Mr.
Right.
Van Wee wears his. He
Yeah.
wears them out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I spent like, $800 on these
Oh my
shoes and I wear
gosh.
them. I'm like, what?
Ooh.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's your passion,
Yeah.
I know. I just like, okay, here where you're going with it. No, you love it. Should I buy this? I'm like, well, you already got 5 pairs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
How many pairs
Well,
of
it's like
Crocs do
you
you
want
have?
all the different colors and the kinds
Yeah.
and the different
Oh, I should
versions.
ask it too. How many Stanleys?
I 5 or 6 I have.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife
That's
has
not a
like 5 or
lot.
6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a lot.
You know what
Yeah.
you should get? I think they would fit. My wife just got for the cabinet
Mhm.
the water bottle organizers,
Yes,
so they
those are
lay
cool.
on their sides.
Yeah.
And because I don't know how many times
They
I got
don't fit.
attacked
Yeah, because they just
by water bottles. I'm like,
Avalanche.
let me get my coffee
Ah,
mug.
The straw doesn't fit under the.
They found
the
you
cabinet,
unconscious
like
in the
you're
morning.
too
Like,
tall.
oh, man, you
Yeah.
got knocked
So
out
you have
again.
to take the cover off, have a little cup for the covers, and all
Sure.
of that. So little,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it makes it. But you have again, look at
No
like,
Stanleys for you, though?
no.
No? Okay.
No.
Crocs?
Crocs.
Yes, these guys
Crocs
are-
I'll have.
Yeah.
Yep, I
I
had a
got,
pair a while ago before they were cool.
I have 2
wore them
pairs.
out.
2 pair.
Yeah,
How do you wear them out? Like,
I wear them all the time.
yeah?
I
They
wear
will break down?
everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I get told to buy new stuff.
Okay. I thought they were like not indestructible, but they seem pretty.
Well,
durable.
the tread will if you wear them often,
okay.
like you're wearing them like asphalt. Like I mean, if I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
walking around the grass and like
You're out there playing basketball in them and
right,
you know,
right. Well,
sport mode,
Sport
as you
mode.
call it.
sport mode. Just another
Here's your
PSA.
PSA, yeah.
Right from all of the PE teachers to
Yeah.
all the students listening out there, that Crocs are considered. Even in my research, they're one of the top 10 non-athletic
Non.
shoes.
Yeah.
Non.
Even in quote unquote sport mode,
Right.
which means that little strap is in the back because it's not very supportive.
Now, we've had some dangerous shoes in our
Yeah.
time, too.
Oh,
Jellies,
Jellies. Oh
Oof.
my
moon
gosh.
shoes, those
Moon
bouncing
shoes, yep.
trampoline shoes.
Oh,
yeah,
I had
we had
moon
some
boots.
Moon boots,
boots.
yeah.
You ever
yeah,
see
the
those?
winter
Yeah,
ones,
they're
yeah.
silver.
Yes,
They're
I used to have to
poofy.
put a plastic bag over my foot before
Yeah.
I put it in there because they
Got
were
a
not
hole in it?
waterproof.
Yeah, yeah.
They looked cool.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you get a hole in
They
it,
always
forget
get.
about it.
They'd always leak.
Yep.
Yeah, and you had one pair for like your whole childhood. Like, we're not buying you new boots.
Yeah, and I didn't have any brothers, so I never had a hand me down. I was the one.
I got my cousin's hand me downs. Yeah.
See,
so.
yeah, I didn't
I was
really
the
have.
oldest, so boom.
Oh,
First
so she got the nice stuff.
Yeah, yep.
That's why the Crocs and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
What a
Mr.
crock.
Sawicki, I have a question for you.
Fire
Okay?
away. Go ahead.
All right, so Mr. Sawicki and I are the same age.
Yep.
Okay, and my question
We'll
is, at the
We'll
same,
both be 30 in August.
we're 25.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Shoot.
Obviously.
Yeah, my math was way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a math
We
teacher
both
here.
have August birthdays too. So
Yeah.
we're turning
Yep.
a certain
coming up.
age. Yep, in August. But
Yeah.
my
Nothing
question,
with a hill though.
no over the
hills.
hill.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No,
Still under
no.
the hill. As
Yeah,
of now.
totally.
Yeah.
That sounds bad too, though.
Underhill.
That
He
does-
Thomas Underhill. He's from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Underhill.
Yeah.
Mr. Underhill.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
All
my
right.
question to you, I want you to think, and we're gonna answer the question at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. I think you'll get it. I don't know.
Okay.
I want you to think back to our childhood, and I want you to think of one of the most impactful but short-lived trends of our childhood.
Oh my gosh.
Most impactful.
First one that comes to my mind.
But we're going to say it at the same time. So we'll say it on three. I'll say
Is it-
1, 2. We'll say it on 3.
Oh my gosh. Is this like anything?
Anything. But I want to know if we
no.
answer the same thing. Because when I think of like
Kids of the 90s, the trends were like
I know,
everywhere.
but when I think of trends, okay,
Okay.
from our childhood, there's one thing that comes to
Okay.
mind for me that was
I'm between,
such a big deal for
I'm
so
like
long.
between two. See, it wasn't
But
for
it was
so
only
long,
cool for like a year,
though. Yeah.
and then it went away.
Okay.
So
It was
what, in
locked
the
in.
90s? Is
the
that
90s.
And we have not
yeah.
pre-discussed this.
We have
No.
not pre-discussed this.
Okay.
Okay, but
All right, I think
I'm going
my-
to say 1, 2, and then on 3.
Rock,
we'll both
paper,
say the
scissors.
answer,
All right,
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2.
Slap
Pogs.
bracelets.
Ah, what did you say?
Pogs.
Pogs.
Both
Okay.
Pogs.
very 90s, like slap
Pogs,
bracelets.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
they
Pogs
are.
were
They're
at
so,
that-
they're so
Bracelets are a big
popular.
one,
They're so
too.
popular. My little guy
I
loves
was
them.
first
Yeah.
leaning towards like Reebok pumps.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
those are a good one
Because I was
too.
on a
Pogs.
shoe vibe. I'm like,
Okay.
shoot, pumps. Or like the
Pogs.
light up
Pogs.
Pogs were
I bet
like,
you the kids. No, do you even know what Pogs are? Exactly.
He's shaking
See?
his head.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, sure.
Man, so for
Pogs
those
were epic. They were so dumb.
they're little cardboard discs.
They originally came on milk bottle caps.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where they got them from.
Okay.
Milk caps. You
Didn't
can't.
know that.
Yeah.
Milk caps. Yeah.
So there we go.
Yeah, so they're these little cardboard discs, and
Mm-hmm.
they could be. They had a picture on them. They had designs on them. They
Yep.
could be themed. They like
Sure.
like literally any pattern.
Yeah.
Like was on a pop.
They
And
eventually
you-
got trademark stuff.
Do
Marvel.
they come in
and all
like
that
little, like
Yep,
little
you got
containers?
these tube holders.
Tube
they
of
were like
Pogs.
these cylindrical tube holders that you would have your Pog
to
collection
collect them
in.
all.
But here's there was a game
Mhm.
that was
A
associated.
lot of
with
people didn't know
Pogs.
there was actually a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
This-
this
this
was a big deal
predates-
for me.
Yeah.
And that
This was like 94,
Does that
Yeah,
predate
94.
like
Yeah.
the Pokemon and all
Yeah.
that? Predates
Around the
Pokemon.
same time. Around the same
Pokemon was like
time.
right
Yeah.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around the
really
same
blew
time.
up. Yeah.
So the game, though, unfortunately, was kind of like a gambling game. It actually
Yeah.
was outlawed at my elementary school because it created too
It
many
got violent,
issues.
yeah.
So the game essentially, each person would like basically throw in a
1990.
certain number of Pogs. So like,
Yep.
let's say I threw in 5 Pogs,
Yep.
Mr. Sawicki threw in 5 Pogs. You
Right.
stack them up. Then
Face
you had
up.
these metal versions, face
Yeah.
up, correct?
Yep.
Everything had all the Pogs were
Like
stacked.
the image on the top. Yep.
Correct. So that the image was at the top and they were stacked in one pile.
Mhm.
And you had these larger,
Mhm.
heavier metal versions of the Pog
Ooh.
called a slammer.
Slammers. Yeah.
Yep.
I had
And
one
so-
with a shark on it. That was my
Yes,
go-to one.
I had one of those too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
They
with
had
like
all
a
these
skull
different
and crossbones.
designs. Yeah.
There was always like a real tough one.
Yeah,
because
the
that was,
slammers
like,
were like crazy,
Meant
like
business.
intimidating and
Yeah.
like, yeah. So the game was
Yeah,
that
this is-
one person would go first and they'd slam their slammer down
Right.
into the Pogs. And if the Pogs flipped over, you
Mhm.
got to keep them.
Right.
And so that means that you were basically
They were yours.
gambling
Yeah, right.
with your Pogs. So like if
Sure.
yours flipped over and the other person
They're
used
gone.
their slammer, they're that other person's
Yeah.
Pogs now. And so you can imagine in school,
Yeah.
we would play our Pogs game.
How much did
And
they
it-
cost? Do you remember? Some really
I don't know, but I remember there was the mall near where I grew up, Clifton Country
Country
Mall
Mall?
at the time.
Yeah.
Was
Oh
what it was
yeah,
called.
yeah.
Had a Pog store.
Oh, really?
Malls
Whole store.
episode.
It was
Yeah,
a whole
Dead Malls.
just
I
a
know.
whole store of Pogs. That's all they
Okay.
had were Pogs.
I feel like I went to a Michael's Crafts and they had a giant,
Bin
like a
of them,
trough of them. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to say they were like 50 cents each, but
That's probably
I think
right.
it
Like
would
a pack of
depend.
cars
But then
or
there were
something.
some that were shiny and some that were
Yeah.
glittery
Oh, yeah.
and some that had like
Holographic, yeah.
holographic
Yeah,
ones.
holographics
And
are the
then-
best.
Yeah.
And then the slammers were a whole nother like
I still have
ball of
mine.
wax. Do you?
Yeah, I have them somewhere.
I don't know. So mine were in a neon green. I can tell you, neon green cylindrical case.
Mhm.
I had like So many. I don't know where they are.
Okay.
They're probably packed up with all of my stuff from my parents' house.
In the attic or basement or whatever. Yep.
When I moved out, they just got put in a box.
Wait. So yeah, you can still get 200 assorted Pog milk caps with 6 slammers for $24.99 on Amazon.
Wow.
Free delivery July 12th.
Wow.
So you
Let's
can
bring
get
it
them in
back.
time for the holiday.
Trend it back.
You
Here
get
we go.
Prime.
You could.
I mean, look.
It was kind of a
Yeah.
lame game. I
It
think
was
like
so lame, but it was
they basically
such a-
ripped off Jacks. Remember
Yes.
Jacks? He bounced
Oh, yeah.
the ball. He tried
Yeah.
to pick them up. It's the
Yeah.
same exact game. Or
Yeah.
marbles.
Well, these
Yeah.
are more like travel friendly. You
Yeah.
know, like pop them in there.
But it
True.
was also collectible.
yeah,
Like,
right.
you know, and
Oh,
there was a
yeah,
way
totally.
that you could also win other people's
I never
slammers too,
played
but I
them.
can't remember what
Yeah,
that
I don't remember
was.
the slammer
Yeah.
game, but
Yeah, it was a
yeah,
it was a
very
big deal.
90s though.
Yeah,
All
very
right, yeah.
90s, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And slap
yeah.
bracelets too were a big deal. Yep.
Slap,
Those
yeah.
also got outlawed from
They
my
did.
elementary school.
Because there's rumors that somebody got their wrist slashed by
Yeah.
one, which
Because you're supposed to like
I
strap
don't think
it
it ever
onto your
happened,
wrist
but
and then it would wrap around your wrist.
it's a cool
But they were
fashion
basically just
accessory.
like a piece of metal.
Metal
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
like covering.
In a
Yeah,
thin
I had
fabric,
And then
yeah.
the kids were just hitting each other with
Yeah.
Yeah, I had some kids that I didn't realize they had like blank ones, right? Like white ones that you
Yeah.
could decorate
Yeah,
with
that's
markers. And then they started like taking them apart, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this
Yeah.
seems like it could be
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's sharp, yeah.
Let's
Now we
give
have
kid a
metal. Now
sheet
we
of
have-
metal.
Yeah.
A sharp object
Wait,
in the
it's
room.
turning into a shank-like object.
Do you remember Adidas Sambas?
Yes.
I don't know.
Those,
Sambas,
those
no.
were like the cool shoes when.
Huh.
That was like when I played indoor soccer. Like
Yep.
Noah plays indoor,
Yep.
but we didn't have any turf at all. Like our turf was a court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Adidas Sambas and with the ginormous tongue on them and stuff,
Yep.
you know,
But
that
that
fell
was,
over.
I never played soccer. They actually did play
Yeah.
like maybe 1 or 2 games, and it was not for me. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wore Sambas because
They were trendy.
They were cool.
Yeah. And I now they have them in all different colors. Like back then, I think
Yeah.
mm,
It was black
maybe it
and
was like
white.
black
yeah,
and white.
black with the white stripes.
Yeah, they had the inverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But now you can get blue ones with white stripes. I'm a sucker for blue, of course. But
Mhm.
yeah, like those are
Some of the
really,
trend.
really cool. I like the Sambas
Interesting.
because they had that gummy bottom to them,
Yep.
so they were super good. And
Yep.
you hear like the basketball squeak,
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, when you're playing.
See, I think the only
soccer.
trends I like in shoes at all, I'm just trying to brainstorm. Since I do kind of like being like odd and counterculture, like I want something different. Like that's why I did have to grab these Sandlot edition PF Flyers
yeah,
that Benny the
Mhm.
Jet Rodriguez
Yep.
threw
Oh, yeah.
on to beat
100 Yep.
nice.
that one. And maybe no one knows about this one. Nike Decades. You ever about
Ooh.
these from like the late 80s, 90s? I wanted them back in the day. They're just black with like the white swoosh, but they became creepily odd, bizarre, infamous when the Heaven's Gate cult wore them.
Oh yes.
When they had this ritualistic like mass
Yes.
sacrifice.
Yes.
And now
Yep.
you want to try to find Nike Decades, they're a
You can't.
fortune
Yeah.
because Nike wanted to distance himself from like this
Right.
this
'Cause
mass cult suicide.
They all wore track suits
Yeah.
with those sneakers.
Track suits.
Yeah.
And the cult picked these out because they went to some local store and like Nike was kind of discontinuing them. And they said nobody wants these ones anymore, so they got a huge bulk discount on them.
Wow.
Oh, Heaven's Gate.
Yeah, the Heaven's Gate
they
cult
were-
Well, yeah,
used to-
yeah.
They got picked
I
up
mean,
by an alien
Yeah,
ship.
yeah, yeah. On the
Yeah.
Hale-Bopp Comet, they
Yep.
they went up and
Yep,
they're
yep,
up in with
yep.
Xenu and all the stuff
Yep.
now, whatever.
Yep.
But like, I would kind of like to have because I wanted them as a kid, anyways. But then it happened. I'm like, great, now I can't have. But I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool and creepy at the same
It is
time.
kind of
Like,
Yeah.
creepy.
very
Yeah.
Halloween.
If
So.
you get the reference, then that's
Yeah.
very creepy.
Right. Yeah, those
Sure.
in the know would
Yeah.
get that.
And the note-
and I'm all about that. I'm driving a
if you
white
know,
Bronco
you know.
right now for crying out loud.
I know.
You are. Yep.
The infamous white Bronco.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember watching that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know something kind of
If
funny
it does
about
not fit, you must
Yes.
acquit.
that? Yeah.
Yes.
When I was in 6th grade, they had us all file in the 6th grade. I'm
Mhm.
not going to name my school district, even though it's a very well-known area. School
Yeah,
district.
sure.
They had us all file into like the Media Information Center to
Oh,
watch
no.
the verdict.
Yeah. Well,
They
you,
The
wouldn't let us
O.J.
watch it.
Simpson
My school.
trial.
They wouldn't let us watch
We
it.
were in 6th
Oh,
grade. We were
yeah.
12, 11.
So
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna date myself. I was in college
Okay.
watching that, and
Yeah.
we were all in the Angel College Center up in Plattsburgh, and I was like, when they announced it, I'm out. We had the TV on, not a flat screen. It was a tube
Yeah.
It
TV.
was a
Yeah.
ours
Wow.
was wheeled in
So-
on a cart.
Yeah, and people were applauding,
Yeah.
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 and I'm dumbfounded.
That was
I'm like,
crazy.
"Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
poor lady's dead, and you're
Wow.
clapping your hand.
Yeah.
Help me out here.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
granted, he had
That
a
was
name.
interesting.
Sure. that was a
moment
crazy
of-
event.
yeah,
Trial
moment
was
of,
Johnny, was it Johnny
past.
Cochran?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Johnny
was one of
Cochran,
the
yep.
he was one of the defense attorneys.
He's the glove. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't. I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was also in college too, like when Princess Diana.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
yep,
big. That
car
happened
wreck.
in the summertime, if I remember.
Yeah.
correctly,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
I was home.
Yeah. Probably I was August early. I think we were
That
just
was
getting
98
into
also, I think,
college
yeah.
because
Yeah.
college starts a little earlier.
Sure.
We were up there then, which was pretty crazy. So two huge things happened. When,
Interesting. The like large events in history when they occur, you just remember kind of.
Yeah.
You remember,
I
right?
remember the room I was in when I saw that news story break.
Yeah.
Right.
When that one happened.
Another one. When the trade towers fell.
Yeah, I was in high school. It was my senior year of high school.
That again, I had terrible schools. They didn't let us watch that.
Oh, that we watched.
They didn't let us watch the OJ thing.
We watched that all day.
It's like they were trying to shelter us. Like, no, let's not let them. Like,
not like you're gonna not find out about it, right?
Go home, we watch 24/7 news coverage.
Oh,
they sent some kids home when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
They had family members that.
Now this one is before you, when the Challenger blew up.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was in
middle. That was the year we were born.
Was it 84 or 86? It might have been 86.
I was in
too little, but
I was in middle school and we watched it. Like again, that was when we had a cart.
Yeah. The old push cart.
Like, because it was a teacher.
Yeah,
a teacher that went
Sally
on.
Ride.
Yep.
Yeah, it was insane.
That was but it's interesting. Isn't that crazy how the memory works like that?
It was formative, like
the people love us talk about JFK's assassination.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should have my wife on. Like, I wonder if she'd ever come on. Like, talk. Like how it's fascinating how the brain works. How did you remember that because someone told you that, or did you remember it because it was you were drawing on your own?
Yeah.
That's
I
one of the
love
reasons
that.
why I studied neuroscience in college. Just the way the brain works and memory in particular is just. Mm-hmm. So, do you guys know what sense is most closely tied to memory?
Smell.
It is, yeah.
Science.
But it makes sense
for magic.
It makes sense.
Yeah, true.
Doesn't it?
I bet that drives me nuts when you smell something. You're like, what does this remind me of?
And you know it reminds you of something.
Yeah, but you can't place it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be like a store that you visited like 20 years ago.
Or when you smell something and all of a sudden you associate it with something also has that smell.
That's pretty awesome.
That memory comes back to you like so colorful.
I know.
Yeah. It's definitely. I mean, some songs will do that too. You know, like on the auditory end, but like a smell. Like
I think smell's the only unconscious one where just like you can't control.
You're not right. You're not thinking like that smell. No, I don't know if she was wrong, but she. Oh my gosh. She was a science teacher well before you were here. Oh my gosh.
I'm very young.
Doctor
Sheehan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Remember her.
You remember her, right?
Yeah, like my first
She had her
year,
doctoral degree.
Yeah.
And she was talking about like that smell, like, you know, like around when the rain comes is like the ozone. Like you could.
I've heard that, yeah.
And I'm like, and that smell, that's a distinct, and like you can't place it, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this smells like cherries. This smells like chocolate.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, that smells like ozone.
But rain.
Who says?
Right. You associate it with rain.
Rain.
Like
and then you buy that candle, like Bath and Body, like this is fresh rain.
Winter,
no, it's not.
Spring,
it's not. No.
Spring dew rain.
Yeah, nothing could capture that.
Yeah.
Rain
you sit on a throne of lies and you smell like beef and cheese. That's what that's all about.
Hi, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Speaking, that's a total weird. So another trend, squishmallows.
Yeah, that's a big
Ollie,
one.
Right?
Squishmallows.
He's right on that phone.
So I say that
He's
because
I have not dived into that one. But
I
like,
just
the
bought
kids
my
like
first
it,
one literally yesterday.
Yes.
And it's because I have to hug something when I sleep.
I'm the same. I'm the same.
And I used to hug a stuffed animal that I've had since I was 3.
Yeah.
And it's time to retire.
You can confess things on the podcast. You still got it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's making me more relatable.
It helps. It helps too.
Yeah.
Like with like spine alignment and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does. I'm a side sleeper, so I have to hug. I have to hug. So I bought a squishmallow last night. Mallow.
Sure.
Squishmallow. I think we go with mallow. Mallow is like the mallow cup, like a Reese's Pieces, but with the mallow in it.
Which marshmallow?
Yes, mallow from England. Which one did you get?
I got a narwhal.
A narwhal.
That's where the connection
the
is.
Buddy the Elf. All right, gotcha.
I got a narwhal. Yeah. It's a purple tie-dye narwhal.
Okay.
Because it's the unicorn of the scene. I love that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Wow, you did just jog my memory. Like, we're probably getting close on time here, but
the
trend that I dove in, I told myself, don't get into this trend. Do not do it. Do not do it. But then I bought like my first Funko Pop, and it was like
you've bought me Funko Pops.
I bought them. I bought them for gifts. I bought Mr. Blais. Where's Spider-Man?
Yep.
Is he around somewhere?
Yep.
I got Miss Now as a Halloween one. Or
I just put Spider-Man away. Yeah,
Spider's away.
Yeah, you get the Miles Morales.
You also got me Mr. DNA.
Mr. DNA, Jurassic
which is
Park.
very popular.
Yep.
Okay.
I cringe to admit it, but I have like hundreds of them now. Hundreds.
I'm not surprised.
Hundreds.
So
but I need
here-
to sell them because there's no more room.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, there's
like
things that
therapeutic
come
time.
into our life for a reason.
And I still
they
tell
leave for a
myself,
reason.
like, I'll be like, I'm not going to buy any more. But then you see another one, you're like,
I know. And then you
Well, I
also
don't have
find
this
the
one.
one that you're like, I've never seen it before. And it's like, it fits this one interest of mine that I want to
just the other night,
present.
he's trying to figure out how to say squishmallows.
Squishmallow.
Here you go.
Squishmallow.
He's a nunsies.
Squishmallow.
What's the word the kids use? He's
There you go.
mugging. I don't know, some other
A
slang.
muggle?
Mugging, like, you
Oh,
know, what
mugging.
do the kids say when it's like
I don't
you're
know.
acting up? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Apparently I'm not.
Gen
Oh.
Alpha slang.
not
Oh,
really
well, it's
thinking
like a favorite site for that, like helping to define that is decipher, I should say, not define.
Mhm.
Is Urban Dictionary.
about- Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that
Which
was
is-
key
which-
as a
which is
middle school
really-
teacher, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's so
You
it's
go
so
really down the dark rabbit holes in that
Yes,
cycle
you
too,
do.
so use with caution.
yes,
And
oh
don't look up
definitely.
your name on
Stuff
it
you can't
either.
unsee. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, like I remember one thing when I was, I think I did summer school one year, and one kid was Ratchet. Was
Yeah,
so
that's a
big.
good one.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
bad, right?
Ratchet's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is interesting
get it.
because Nurse Ratchet,
She was bad.
she was bad.
When Fluke
Yeah.
was
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's where it comes. Maybe it is. Maybe there's
It could
a
be.
connection.
Yeah.
Like-
Somebody else came up
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like that's another thing. Like we could have a whole episode on just like
I think we
work-
discussed that once.
Yeah, we did a short on
Oh yeah.
texting one time. You know,
Yeah,
like
abbreviations.
Oh, like,
abbreviations, and
Yep.
you know, like we were questioning each other. Like even Noah types it out, right? Because it's easy on smartphones. I think
Because
like
they finish it for you.
like texting came out was like when you had phones that kind of looked like this, and you only had
T9 word.
T9, right?
Yeah.
So you had 1, 2, 3 rows of 3,
3 for
right?
C.
Which number did you have to hit 4 times to get like
Oh my
letter
gosh.
B or something?
Gosh, yeah.
Or towards the end of the
it was just
alphabet?
horrible.
Yeah.
So you had to abbreviate, but you know, like some
Yeah.
people still do. And we talked about the infamous when someone says like, if you agree with someone, right? And like, hey, you want to go out tonight? You go hang out. What do you type in a message?
If I want to hang out with someone,
Yeah, if you say if you're in agreement with whatever they said, it could be
Bet.
you want to hang out, huh?
that's not what I would actually say. But,
See, that's I'm old. I'd be
sure.
like, dig it.
Sure. Or you ever put okay?
okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
put okay?
I do. I don't spell it out.
You don't
I
spell
say
it.
okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Right. You
AY.
don't do okay. What do you put?
I don't use it. I just say dig it or like thumbs
Dig it?
up or
Yeah.
like
Thumbs up. I do.
cool.
Thumbs up, right?
Yeah.
My daughter said thumbs up is like we
It's
just
cringe.
dated ourselves.
Cringy.
Yeah.
Very
uh,
cringe.
So is the crying
See, I-
laughing emoji. If
Yeah.
I always
that's
thought it was
cringy
like
now,
a bit
too.
insulting too.
I
It's
still
like
use it.
you
Yeah.
can't even take the time like to type something out. You hit me with an emoji. Like
Yeah.
Well, you know what's
Yeah.
the worst is when someone thumbs up the message you sent.
yeah, I do that
That's-
sometimes too though.
That's the
Yeah.
worst.
I do.
But
That's
I
only
always-
quick. I'm busy.
But only that. If you only do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
then
right,
it's
right.
like. But if you
Right,
do
nah,
that
nah.
and then you also
You
respond.
can't communicate through that, but if you're like,
Right.
using a Stanley hammer, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
boop, thumbs up to that message.
with your
like,
yellow Stanley
Yeah.
mug next to you.
yeah,
Yeah. Or another way, like so. I came across just a fellow colleague. She always puts KK, and my daughter as well.
Yeah.
Like hey,
That's got danger written all over it. I'm just gonna
I've
say
done that before.
it's 1K
it's
short.
1K short of something very
Yes,
bad day.
it is.
So
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. But I've said
Yeah.
KK before too.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
a whole thing.
cannot recommend. Yes.
No, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah, my daughter will do like K.
Yeah.
I'll do okay. Yeah, like O
I
and
think
then
that sounds
K.
good a lot.
Do you
Sounds
abbreviate
good.
it? Like
Yeah.
O.K. dot. I've
No.
seen people do
Just
that.
okay. All
Do you,
lowercase.
do you punctuate?
Okay.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah.
I'm having a serious conversation and I really want my point to be made. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see a period at the end of the sentence, that
Ooh,
means
at the end
business.
is. I don't do it
Right.
at the end of sentence. Normal text.
Business.
Right.
Yeah. Like
Now, what if you do
Mic
like
drop.
multiple periods?
Like a dot dot dot.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Is that
yeah.
like you're
Oh,
like
That means I'm ticked off.
that'll
Yeah.
get your anxiety
Yeah.
peak is like
yeah.
what's coming
Or
out
if you
next.
only put dot dot dot.
yeah.
Oh, that's really
Oh,
really
wow.
bad.
That's like
Yeah.
That's really bad.
that's like an
That means-
expletive in
that
text.
Yeah.
That means I can't even respond to what
Right.
you just said to me. I'm so ticked off.
Right.
That's
right.
yeah. That's don't
Yeah.
talk to me for like 2 days because I'm
Yeah.
fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I know.
Or,
We
I
can
know,
digress
yeah,
on the text.
go
It's
on
so,
this,
it's
yeah.
so it's so fun though. With like,
No,
and that's a trend. You know,
I trend of texting. I hate texting. I hate it.
okay.
Call me up.
Yeah.
I hate it. I know it's convenient. I know
Yeah.
it's
Well, it
times you
depends on
can't talk.
the timing. Yeah, I
There's
have a
just
friend
so
who's
much
like
in
that.
text you can't read. You can't read into, and it's like
Oh,
I hate
yeah.
that game.
The
Like,
tone is difficult to decipher.
It's
on
like
text.
nearly
Somebody's
impossible, yeah.
real true intentions
Subjective,
are hard.
right?
Yeah.
If you had a text, like a generic text, and you passed it around, and like,
you
tell me, everybody write down what you think this means.
Yeah.
Sure.
What emotion is associated with this, and you would get a buffet of responses
Yeah.
from that.
Well, that's
right?
why it's like dating. You guys don't know because you're married. I'm not. The dating world is really difficult right now because of texting.
I know.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
how a lot of
Yeah.
people want to communicate.
That's how
Yeah.
people start relationships
Yeah,
nowadays.
I
It's
was guilty
really
of it too.
difficult.
Yeah.
My wife called me out. Like I only texted for a while, and was like, "Oh, that's true. I want to call." Like,
Yeah.
Great.
you know,
Good, but that's rare.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to navigate,
Sure.
all of those situations.
It's evil.
Now,
Text.
did you mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Right,
like what?
Yeah,
Can I just ask?
Right.
Nah.
Right.
Nah.
yeah, it's
Right.
hard.
Or a picture is worth 1,000 words, so
Yeah.
that might be a better bet.
Yeah.
As long as it's not
Gifs and
AI
emojis
generated.
No.
Oh,
Also
man,
bad
and
trend.
that's a whole nother ball of wax.
Yeah.
That's how the Terminator movies begin.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
make that joke all the time about Skynet. People are
Yeah.
like, "What are you talking about?"
No,
It's
it's
like,
happening.
How do you not know?
It's happening.
I know.
Yeah. Robots, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be my last trend. I know because I talked to you guys about it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Roomba.
Please.
Roomba.
What's that?
Do you have a Roomba?
A Roomba?
Yeah.
It's a robot.
I wouldn't mind it.
That's exactly. See,
Yeah.
I knew I was going to get you. a
Barber,
Roomba.
my barber has one.
I totally know. I'll come home and it'll be like stuck under a chair and be like, "Great, you didn't vacuum anything." Like, thanks a lot.
Dunk,
Yeah.
dunk.
Yeah,
Or like,
I know.
Yeah, like,
So like, great. So I have to vacuum anyway. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh, if you had one
never
job.
mind. Yeah.
One job.
Yeah, no, seriously. Literally, that's what you're programmed for. I was just going to conclude my thoughts by saying Hollywood, make some new films.
right.
Hollywood. The trend of, again, it continues. It's every year. It's the remake. It's the reboot. It's the part 4.
Yeah.
Like, we were literally watching movie trailers the other night, upcoming films.
Mhm.
14 out of 15 were like
Deja vu.
Planet of the Apes, Part 6.
Yeah.
The Minions, Part 4. Inside Out 2.
Yeah.
Remake, reboot,
Right.
this, that. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
Okay.
where are
yeah,
the original ideas, the original creative? There's
Yeah.
so many people in history that have had a great story. Where are the dreamers?
right.
come up with a
the
new-
Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
A new creation, a new character. That's what I ask.
Okay.
But Twisters looks good because
I'm
that was
excited for Twisters.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
any 90s film you take and you make a part 2 now.
So right,
Gun
I like that
Maverick,
idea. I like that idea. I like spin-offs. So like I
Spin-offs,
like taking
sure.
something that worked
Yeah.
and then spinning off of that.
Do you
on
have a good
completely
example? I was trying
different
to think of one
path.
myself.
Well, the kids probably shouldn't watch this until they're at least 18, but Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Oh,
House of
yeah,
the
yeah.
Dragon.
Very, it's a very popular show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they have a new spin-off now that's a
House-
prequel called
Yeah.
House of Dragons.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
takes
yeah,
place
yeah.
Good.
1,000
Yeah.
years-ish
Sure.
before Game
Okay.
of Thrones.
I think-
It's completely different characters,
Right.
but the
Yeah.
same world, the same realm, the same rules,
Yeah.
fantasy
Yeah.
rules, quote unquote.
Right.
But it's got the same vibe as the original.
It does.
Kinda like.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
does.
That can go too far, though. The new Star Wars
Agreed.
shows are taking a lot of heat.
Agreed.
I don't know if I haven't
it's
seen them
got-
yet, so I can't say.
But those
Yeah,
are
the same here.
there's the same character, so that's not the same
Yeah.
as a spin-off necessarily.
And
No,
then
even like
the Acolyte show, which
Yeah.
I haven't watched.
I haven't either, but
I
haven't
haven't.
seen it either.
I'm going to watch it this summer. I've heard really good things,
right.
and I try before I watch stuff. I try to like skirt articles, like
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
I
make
don't
your
want
own
someone to
mind.
like
Yeah.
jade
Sure.
my opinion on it. But what they did is they entered in uncharted territory, which is
Right.
hard for Star
Yeah,
Wars, but
which-
so much.
But I respect that. Yeah, like
Because
do
they
it.
came out with 4, 5, 6, which was smack in the middle of the whole universe
Right.
of Star Wars. Then they had, like 1, 2, 3.
Mm.
Then they had 7, 8, 9, and I'm sure there's going to be, well, there's no wait. Is there
they
10,
had
11,
Rogue
12?
One that was
Rogue
embedded in
One,
there,
Yeah,
too.
and then they have in
Solo
between
story,
Solo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and maybe there'll be, and then there's
Never
Solo.
saw Solo.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's
Don't
one.
Well, then they
Terrible.
have Obi-Wan like series, which
Yeah.
was really
Yeah,
good.
All the
I
Disney
like that.
Plus series. Yep.
But yeah, so they're entering in like an uncharted territory in the Star Wars verse, which is the verse is huge.
I don't know.
And
I
sometimes
predict.
it's too much. Like I feel like
Yeah,
Marvel did
literally.
the same thing.
I was literally about to say.
I can't keep up. Like
Star Wars is going to hit that
it's
Marvel
too
wall.
much. Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
And people are going to start having a backlash saying you're producing garbage because it's
Yeah.
too much. So,
Okay.
And you can't keep track of it all.
That too.
It's like-
yeah.
It's okay. Now here's going old school. Now, what are your thoughts on this? Okay, Spaceballs, right? Of
course.
Right? Saw it in theater. I'm that old, okay?
Yes.
With my dad.
I was
When he
VHS,
introduced me, I'm like,
also
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
This
VHS.
is phenomenal.
Mhm.
Absolutely phenomenal. Loved it. It's like a spin-off
Yeah.
of like
It's one of the
like
best
Pizza the Hut
spoofs. Yeah.
spoofs
Yeah.
of
Sure.
guys combing the desert.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
But I heard, don't know when, they are making Mel Brooks is in charge.
Oh, he's still alive?
Yeah. I mean, how
he's still around.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting up
Yeah.
there.
I thought he was ancient back then.
Hey Siri, how old is Mel Brooks? Trend.
Mel Brooks is 97 years old.
97?
Whoa,
man.
making a movie at
Man.
97.
Is he
for
really
him.
making it though? Is he?
Good for him.
Well, and maybe they're
Did his wheel on
he's into
set?
consulting.
his
Yeah.
mind is probably still.
So I got me
sharp as
thinking,
that.
I'm like,
God bless him. if he
where-
is. Jeez.
where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Well, no, but
That's
now they have so much
I
new
know.
content to spoof.
Untapped material.
yeah. I mean, think of how many it's
Sure.
kind of like what Weird Al did with Michael
Yeah.
Jackson
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Nirvana. And
Yeah.
The
Smells
Wayans
like
brothers did
Nirvana.
with a Scream, and they did a scary
Amish
movie.
Paradise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
scary
Amish
movie
Paradise.
films, Yep. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see about the summer films.
Well, and speaking of summer, I'm excited since I have a truck. I told my kids this summer, we're all going in the truck to a drive-in,
Yes.
throwing some sleeping
Perfect.
bags in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
it's going to be a good time. So I'm
So,
excited for drive-ins
Kind of
this
to
summer.
tie it all together. Didn't you guys love when COVID
Mm-hmm.
prevented new
Yup.
movies from coming out and
Fantastic.
they showed
Oh,
the
yes.
classics
Yeah.
at the drive-ins?
Yeah.
Sure. That was
Yes.
amazing.
That was so
Films
fun.
that we probably never got a chance to see.
Never got
like,
to see in the theater.
Or you were
Right.
little kids.
Right.
Like, now I get to see it again. Like,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
it's
went to go see.
so cool.
Jaws.
We
That they do
saw
that.
Mr. Sawicki and I one summer saw Jaws
Yeah.
and
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park.
Park as a
Oh
double
my
feature
God.
at the drive-in.
Oh,
We packed our subs, like
You've
Oh
already
my
seen
God.
the movie, so it's not like you have to watch super
Yup.
in depth.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was
It's
like the perfect summer
Yeah.
movies to watch.
Oh, yeah.
So great.
Something about
I know.
that generation, that like those movies, you
Yeah.
know.
Spielberg classics, you know?
My first one was Spielberg. It was E.T.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember saying that. Cool.
Yep, that was my very first one, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Is there something about '80s movies that just make you think of summertime too, like '80s, '90s,
well,
like
'cause of
that
the
vibe?
blockbusters. All
I
of
know.
the good
Yeah, that's what it was.
like
Right.
movies were released in the summertime.
Jaws was
on
considered
purpose.
the first one.
Yeah.
on
75,
purpose.
Made everybody scared of sharks.
Well, I
poor
think we already
sharks.
have our next episode when we come back from summer.
Yeah,
Like, we're all seeing drive-in movie
Oh,
theaters. This summer we
100%.
have to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're long overdue for drive-in movies.
Love it.
yes, I know. But
I know
I
we've
want.
talked about it for a while.
Yeah. I'm writing that down right now.
Perfect.
And you could dig in a little bit of history of that too.
Absolutely.
My father-in-law told me a story. I was talking about going to the drive-ins, and he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You know how they start? Like they had the little little speaker that you put on your car."
I have one of those speakers. I bought one from the truck.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Not
Since the
surprised.
history
Love it.
nerd, yes.
Um,
They still sell them, yep, if they're
and
available.
I'm sure this lady wasn't a friend of his. Went and they watched, and they had their father's car, and
Mhm.
they put the speaker on the mirror or on the window, and then when the movie's over, it was like, okay, let's go,
Uh-oh.
and the
Forgot
to
window
take it.
came right out
Yeah.
and
Jeepers.
broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thankfully we don't have that now. Now
Right,
you
right.
just
Radio station.
you tune in.
Yeah.
I've even heard some people taking like Bluetooth speakers
Yep.
and doing
Yeah,
that too.
Yep.
Yep. People want
Ba-
to drain your car battery. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had to have my friend. We saw like Apollo 13, and
Yeah, good
he
one.
had some. This old school, right? He
Yeah.
had a Chevy S10
Mhm.
with the cap on the back,
Mhm.
and he had his father's. He was an electrician. He did all sorts. So he took his father's like old like floor standing Pioneer speakers, like
Mhm.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
put them in the back, amped them up,
Oh, the
and when
whole
that
place.
rocket was launched, like,
Yes. yeah.
we stood on the outside of the truck and we're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, what you got, son?" You know,
Yeah.
like we were just loving it. But
That's awesome.
but we had to get like some people would use boat batteries
That'd be-
because they were like
Yeah.
Yeah.
like heavy duty.
Big
Some
cell
they had
batteries, yeah.
if you need your car jumped,
Right.
after
Yeah.
the-
How they would do that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because you
true.
air conditioning
Yeah.
and
You always had to start it up again in between features,
between
so
films,
you
yeah.
could run the battery out.
well, you
Yeah.
could run. I mean, at one time I watched an older Superman movie, but you know older, newer, and then one of the Pirates of the Caribbean, whichever was out at the time. We came back. I pulled into my house in Cohoes. We went out to like Jericho, like way out, or Highway, even further.
Yeah.
And it's out by the correctional facility, so it's like got a high creep vibe too.
Sure.
But it was probably like 2:30.
Yeah, I believe it.
We pulled in.
Totally.
Yeah.
Double
I mean,
feature.
it is. I mean, you got to bring some caffeine to these. Nowadays, I have
I got to take a nap before I go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you have intermission, and you're just like,
great idea. Why don't they have like a drive-in with a campground too? You just like
That's
drive
actually
the car
a
in,
wonderful idea. Okay,
camp
that's
right there.
our idea. We're patenting
Copyrighted,
that idea. Yep.
So
this part has been censored for future endeavors.
Our retirement plan is engaged.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
That'd be
punching that
epic,
retirement ticket right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Love
You
that.
can loan out tents and stuff, and you say, hey, you want to stay?
Yeah.
But then, you show like movie series.
Yeah.
So you show like
marathon it.
all the Star Wars.
Yeah.
You show all the Lord of the Rings. You show all the Harry Potter.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the Harry Potters.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that.
We'll watch
I'm
all
a big
28
Harry
James
Potter
Bond
fan.
movies.
Oh, I know. They go beyond. They go beyond the book.
For 3.5 days.
The whole
That's another.
weekend.
Yes, I know. It could
That's
be a
another
weekend
one I
movie.
have to.
I know, we gotta
Another
do James
episode
Bond
of James
someday.
Bond. I wonder, do we have any? You James
No,
Bond? No.
I'm not a James Bond person.
A 007.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just not an expert. I've seen many of them.
Okay.
I've seen them all. That was my dad.
Yeah.
My dad got me hooked on
Yeah,
those,
I know.
and it was so cool.
Classics.
And then one day we were supposed. I'm surprised. I'm so upset we never got a chance to go. But they had the James Bond cars on display at the Saratoga
that's
Car
I drove
Museum.
past you that day. You didn't go because of the ice storm or something.
We went.
Power
We were
out.
literally at
was
Old
good.
Bryan
Yeah.
Inn in
Yep.
Saratoga.
Yep.
You know, great place.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, it's delicious.
And as we're there, I got I don't know if I called or I got a notification that the power went out.
Yeah.
But you know what we did? We went home. I drove home, and it was like so windy out. Like my car was like going like. Thankfully, I had 4-wheel drive, but it was like whiteout conditions. And we got home and we watched the latest James Bond at my house. I'm like, we're gonna make this a James Bond do or die.
Keep it in the theme. Yeah. Totally.
Never say die.
Yes.
All right,
folks.
Wow, that was something.
That was
Great.
trendy.
Yeah, very trendy.
Well, thank you for
hashtaggy
reminding me of some good trends because there are some good ones
there
out
are.
there.
Nostalgic trends.
Yeah. And I guess there are some cool modern trends. I just gotta stop being
Open up
so
your mind.
curmudgeon old man and saying, "Oh, it's modern day nonsense with your AirPods and your
Whippersnappers.
your socks with sandals." You know,
Are AirPods classified as jewelry? That's my question.
no
No.
tech
They're
Don't they
accessory.
seem
tech
like it?
equipment. Yeah.
Because
Jewelry?
people, I mean, I even see adults.
The people bedazzle
I
them and
was
stuff.
wearing
Or
some
something.
earlier today.
walk in there.
Yeah.
I mean, walk around with them. It's just like, even if you're not listening to anything, you got it.
That's how you
Oh,
get people
yeah.
to not talk to you. is
Yeah,
just
right.
having
That's
it.
antisocial.
At grocery
It's not
stores, right?
fashionable,
I see a lot of people do
Huh?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I digress.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anywho,
All right. Well, happy
Yeah.
summer.
Happy
everybody.
summer.
happy summer.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it.
We made it. Oh my
This
gosh.
is the end.
Yes.
School's out.
We need,
Yes.
we need a little Alice. We're gonna,
Yeah.
little
Insert,
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
End of school summer song.
Yeah.
Yes. Note to
Listen
self.
Yeah. But be
maybe-
good to each other this summer. Be safe.
Make good choices.
Yes. Do
Rest.
something
have
good.
some
Rest up.
Rest
Yeah.
up. Sleep
Wow.
in. Get all that sleep that you
Sure.
need.
Yep.
Be productive.
But don't stay in your house all the time.
No.
Go outside.
Get outside.
Even when it's hot, get into a pool.
Go
Yes.
volunteer or something. Do
I
something
mean,
good.
I don't know, like being hot as an excuse to keep me in. You know, like I know one of the custodians said, he goes, I can't believe we're living in a state where we have to have the governor come on and tell us it's hot out.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, granted,
Check.
you know, like she's doing her thing, or PSA, but like,
Mhm.
and back in our day, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's hot out. You
Yeah.
get the sprinkler on.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You find a way to cool off.
You ride your bike to the pool.
Slip and slide in the backyard.
You
Slip and
hope the
slide.
ice cream
Yep.
truck's
Little
on its
hose
way.
water
Yes.
to keep
Hose
it hydrated.
water.
No
Yeah.
Stanley's
Hose water. Yeah, there's no filters needed.
We
back
never real
then.
slip and slide. It was a blue tarp with a
Yeah,
hose on it.
A blue tarp.
We actually
yeah.
had a real slip inside.
And a little
Yeah.
soap. Yep.
Yeah.
You always had to soap it up.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Nice. Yes. Enjoy summer, guys.
Yes. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you later.
Hey.
Bye-bye.